I don't care if you've been petting giraffes and shooting hospital workers all night. If you love smash that like button, welcome to Black and Black Times Infinity.
Dark
I'm your
fast.
host, Cthulhu's Prodigy, coming to you live and direct from the Vista Smoking Out Fan with all that dank shit. On my left, your boy Blue.
Oompa Loompas are black. That is all. They're pygmies from Africa. In the original story, they're pygmies from Africa, so they're black.
Yeah, don't explain shit. Just leave it at that, man. Just say it and then own it. That's it. On my far right, engineering on the ones and twos, jump people out on threes and fours, Chronos.
Hey, I'm just saying, somebody's got to hold Joel accountable for his actions. Right?
Well, will that person be muscular? All right, we should have Old Ninja joining us a little bit late, but we got a packed fucking show for your goddamn ass tonight. Start us off with some statistical analysis.
Statistics. Charles would be the listener of the week. Thank you very much for listening. We definitely appreciate it. And first in the chat would be my boy Papa Bear. What's going on, fam? I saw that he did a live stream earlier today. I didn't get a chance to watch, though. I know it was with the owner of One Hope, who does she does it's a wine company that pairs with other corporations. I think mainly nonprofits, could be wrong, but basically you can donate charitable donations through buying wine, which is a great way to go. So we teamed up with them kind of a while
I was gonna
back.
say I thought she paired wine with sadness.
Like, I mean, that's easy to do.
Oh, you ain't got no home? Oh, you should drink this Pito. Feels great with those tears. Like, what the hell? That's some fucked up shit.
And I forget the other guy who we had on, because I just saw that the live stream was up, and today was like busy for me at work, so I couldn't watch or anything. So he'll probably say it in the chat in a minute here.
No worries. We'll save any RIPs for once Old Ninja joins, if he joins in a timely manner. But we got a whole bunch to get into.
There's one person on the RIP. I did not know he was black, or I did not know he was white. It's fucking crazy. Like I learned that like probably like 5 minutes before jumping on the podcast. Same thing with about the Oompa Loompas being from Africa, being black.
God damn. There we go. All right. Did everybody see this goddamn Last of Us finale?
What should we talk about? Yes.
What do you want to say, Blue?
No, I was gonna say, should we talk about last week since we weren't here last week?
Oh yeah. We had a
last week was dank as fuck. So just gotta recap. Joe was stabbed by a baseball bat, and Ellie took him to some house, which I'm surprised that she was able to like carry him and stuff. Maybe he had strength enough to like move himself, but like he's down in the basement. She's like attending to his wounds. But yeah, she's out hunting. She gets caught up with some guys from a different village. And first of all, the episode starts with like this mayor in an area with like a bunch of people and like super creepy, like giving kind of like rapey vibe. But anyway,
well, I didn't get the rapey vibe at first. I got the religious vibe, which is its own sort of creepy.
Oh, yeah.
So you know,
I guess that's way too. But yeah, so she beats these people. And like she wounds a deer, and she like follows its track to go get the meat or whatever. But then like the other tribe or group of people runs to it first, and so she was able to punk these people to like leave, and she offered a deal to trade the deer meat, half the deer meat for medicine. But like I've heard like what happened in this episode was like almost shot for how things are in the game, which I haven't played the game, but this episode was fucking crazy. So she gets captured. And she ends up going to the town, and like, there's a scene where,
well, hold
that
on.
reminds me of walking.
I'm gonna pause you real quick, only because the reason why she got captured is because that Joel killed two of their members, or killed one of the members, one or two of the members.
One of the
and
members.
They didn't know, so it's consequences of actions, or actions have consequences. I have it the wrong way around.
Yeah, and to further add to that, you could interpret it both ways. Yes, Joel killed them, but in some ways they felt like they may have been attacked first in a lot of, what I mean? They were going back to their horse, and, they stopped Joel and Ellie, and with violent intent, and shit went down,
Yeah.
But, yeah. we'll see.
That was the other crazy shit with that. Like the town, like actually gave her like medicine. Like gave her antibiotics, which is funny because like she didn't know how to use it. She just injected it where the wound was. I'm like, how do you take like antibiotics? Do you inject it in the wound area, or you
No,
take it
you
as
definitely
like
do
in one of
not.
the veins or something?
You just
You look for a good vein, but you got to know what the fuck you're doing too. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people just, I mean, a good heroin addict knows what the fuck is time it is, but or an RN or an MD, like you got to know what you're doing in terms of putting it in the vein, but not like completely severing the fucking vein with the needle and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, I also
she
think
was
it's
just
funny.
stabby with it.
So we kind of messed up, Blue, because you said she got captured, but you skipped over a lot of shit. So there was a kind of a standoff where she had to drop on them. She made them put down their weapons, and then she held the mayor guy kind of sort of hostage, demanding that we'll split the deer if you give me medication for somebody that I need medication for. And so she sent the other guy off to go get it. He got the medication, penicillin, which is fucking ironic that the world ended by a fungus and then they're going to save Joel's life from a fungus. But anyway,
Did I even realize that?
yeah, it's one of those things. So anyway, yeah, she gets the penicillin, and then in the middle of them having a conversation, he drops that basically he knows that Joel was the one that killed his people, but then he lets her go because he's like, your gods ordained it or whatever. So after he lets her go, the other guy and him, they track her with a group of people, and then they find them, and Ellie hears them coming, and then decides to she gives Joel a knife and is like trying to wake him up after giving him the medication directly into his wound, which again, don't do that. Like, you have pretty good veins in your arm and your hands. Hopefully, you're not incredibly overweight, because then they're really hard to find. But Joel's okay. Gives him a knife when he's kind of out of it, and says, if anybody else comes in here, and it's not me, you kill them. Basically, just fucking kill them. And so she tries
Joe.
she tries to lead him away on the horse, and they shoot the horse, kill the horse, and she's knocked the fuck out because if you fall from a horse when it's running full speed, you're gonna get knocked out. So brain trauma. And then one of the guys finds Joel, and Joel finds him, and murders his ass.
The reverse Uno card.
Yeah, exactly. Surprise, bitch. And then he's like, "Where's Ellie?" And he goes on a rampage, and ties people up, starts the torture routine, starts stabbing kneecaps off, and
I love that scene where he's torturing the guy, because he so earlier he didn't really torture an older couple, but he kind of like did this little thing where like he points to a map. It's like, hey, if this person doesn't show me the same point you did, I'm gonna kill both of you or whatever. But this scene was fucking great. So the guy points to the map, and then Joe just kills the guy, and then he goes to the other dude. The other guy's like, I ain't telling you shit. He's like, you don't have to. I believe the other guy just fucking killed him. I'm like, that shit was fucking ruthless.
The great thing about that is it's beat for beat from the game, and I'm sitting there just like fucking Leonardo DiCaprio, like, ooh, that's the scene, which is awesome. But real quickly, the thing that you gotta mention, because we keep saying the guy, his name is fucking David, and like as soon as I saw him, even though he looks very different from the game, he's like he has dark hair in the game, but in this one he's a blonde guy. David is a motherfucker, and as soon as I saw him, I was like, holy shit! And then the other person who finds the deer is the voice of Joel in the goddamn game.
Do they keep doing that? The little Easter eggs of the actual voice actors acting in these movies or in the show.
Which I think is great, because that voice actor is very prolific. I forget his fucking name off the top of my head.
Is it Troy Baker?
Yeah, it is Troy Baker, and he's fucking fantastic. He's one of my favorite voices of all time. I remember his performance in Death Stranding was so fucking good, and he's in a whole bunch of games and animation stuff. Anyway, go ahead, Blue.
Well, one other crazy thing that it kind of skipped over a little bit too is that when Elliot fell off the horse, like when the guy showed up, they're like, "We're gonna put a cap in this bitch." They were to fucking kill her, but luckily, like the Reverend David showed up, was like, "Hey, what the hell are you doing? Like, we're taking her alive."
Oh, he had plans.
Yeah, luckily and unluckily at the same time.
Yeah.
But they take her back to the base camp, and Joe's just this white motherfucker's out. But yeah, they get Ellie wakes up inside of a prison, and this is when creepy guy gets all creepy, and he's like I want you to be like part of our group, and I don't remember what he said, but he got more like, you about to be one of my brides or some shit like that. Like I like you because you're strong and powerful. I need somebody like you on my side. I'm like, dude, she's like 12 years old or some shit. He's like touching her hand, and then Ellie's like, she breaks his finger. It's like, tell those motherfuckers that little girl did this.
We're living out part of this, which I think Party's gonna say. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna. We already know how fucked up David is because there was a quick scene where they're all gathered around eating food, and it's the daughter of the one who Joel killed, which we learn, and David backhands the ever-loving fuck out of this small child, this little girl who has lost her fucking father.
Who Joel
and
killed,
everybody,
but, you know.
Yeah. And everybody shut the fuck up like, oh, here goes David again. No big deal. Look the other way.
But then he also... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No. Go ahead.
I was going to say, he also said, like, he didn't say I'm your daddy, but he's like, look, I'm your father now. It's like...
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And also, what kind of other little... is that they're unknowing cannibals. So, David knows and a couple other people know, but the rest of them don't know that they're eating people, and they ate the dad. They served the dad to the congregation, which is pretty fucking gross.
In the first part of the episode, like the daughter's like, when can we bury my dad? That her dad's the one that Joel killed, and like, oh, we can't do it now because of the snow, and it's like, the ground's too hard to dig a grave. I'm like, they're eating this motherfucker. Like right when they started serving food, I'm like, oh, Terminus. The first thing that popped in my head.
Yeah.
And watch Walking Dead. Terminus is like a town that they hit where they're eating people. But like, yeah, Elliot, like she sees she sees an ear and like underneath this like butcher table, and that's where she realized that they're eating people. The David's like, yeah, we got to do what we got to do, for us all to survive. But then like after she breaks her finger, like he gets mad and like he's like, fuck it, we're gonna eat you too then. And so they're like throwing her on a table. He's got a butcher knife in his hand, and she's like, I'm infected. I'm like, oh shit, she has been infected, but like she's not like gonna turn or anything. And like they fucking believe her. But then Elliot, man, she pulled her inner Joel and started fucking shit up. Like she grabbed the butcher knife and just cleaved her to the dude's neck, and then like got the fuck out of Dodge. But then like shit just got crazy, man. I was like when she threw the stick that had the log of fire, and she threw it and things started catching on fire, I'm like,
yeah, this
yo,
is like,
dude, this whole building's made out of wood. You need to go put that fire out.
It's a boss battle in the game. I'm just like, I remember all this
exactly.
Shit.
Exactly.
I saw the gameplay. I saw the gameplay after the show, they do like a little behind the scenes stuff, and they show some of the gameplay. I'm like, dude, they're like, this game wrote itself. Like they're just taking people and putting them in the places they need to be in. But yeah, that whole scene was fucking crazy.
I'll say this. So my first playthrough of the game, obviously, that David's this, evil motherfucker and whatnot, but I didn't quite notice just how fucking disgustingly rapey he was with the dialogue at first. Like when I went back and played it again, I was like, oh shit. It's very fucking clear that he is a evil fucking rapist motherfucker of children.
You know what I didn't notice? I didn't notice he was a drag queen because, I mean, according to people today, drag queens are the ones that groom kids and rape them. But, I'm just saying.
I think I get it.
Meanwhile, the ratio of priests to
yeah, the priest to butthole touching is pretty high.
Yeah, it's a billion. It's 1,000,000 to 1 in terms of priests that have done awful shit. But anyway, I love the fact that Ellie got she got her revenge. She was able to overpower a grown man and chop that motherfucker to pieces and kept going. So
she was like, stabby, stab. She's like, smash, smash.
And then one of the most touching parts in the entire series, at least in my opinion, she is fucking shell-shocked, rightly so. She almost got raped and murdered, or both. And, she's killed somebody, and, with a cleaver in her own hands, multiple stab wounds and killed that motherfucker. Place is burnt down, and she's
Burn it
outside.
down.
And Joel comes from behind, and she's like, "Get off me, motherfucker!" You know, she's just tripping and freaking out, and he hugs her, and he's like, "It's okay, baby girl, I'm here." And that's exactly what he had said. Joel had said to Sarah.
Yeah.
You know, when we go back to the first episode, and I fucking just loved that, man. It was a really touching scene.
I just
You know what's
And
crazy
they
about
showed
this?
the after effects. Like,
Oh
sorry,
yeah.
even the next episode, which we have, it takes us a week to get to, she's still fucking not right. And
Yeah.
I love the fact that they showed that.
Well, and I think I hope people that played the game and had an issue with, The Last of Us Part 2 take note again to see Ellie's violent fucking nature and that she can get super unhinged at times because she is a very violent person and she learned it from Joel.
Yep.
Like a lot of it from Joel.
What's also crazy about this episode was that like you thought Joe was gonna save the day because Joe like he was tracking them down. He found out where they are. He fucking found like a abandoned place where he discovered that they were eating bodies because there was like bodies hanging from the rafters or whatever, or like was part of the limbs and shit was cut off. So Joe knew what the fuck's going on in his town. So he was really trying to get to Elliot. But when he gets there, homegirl just walking out of the smoking building like she just fucking like, oh god, what movie was I thinking of? It makes me think of that. Oh, no, it's not that. I was gonna say that the scene from Wait and Exhale where
she burns the
she burns the guy's clothes and like walk away from
the car. Yeah. Was it Whitney Houston? No, was it?
No,
that
was
was
Angela.
No, Angela Bassett. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I forgot that you were in Houston. Anyway,
Like in the game, right? Like
movie,
don't. Oh yeah, she was in there.
Yeah,
Whitney Houston. Yeah, it was Whitney Houston, Angela Bassett, two other girls.
Sunshine from Harlem Nights. Sorry, we'll, don't let us go on a tangent on that one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But one quick thing. Oh shit! Oh yes, about the gameplay. So I guess like in the gameplay, like you go from playing as Joel, and this is like your first time playing as Ellie in the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're actually taking over for her, and that's kind of how it was for this. Is like you were just watching her gameplay basically,
well,
and like it's great because it felt like you're playing a game. Oh, go ahead.
So Prodigy, I'm trying to remember back because I haven't played it in a while. But in this series of events, don't you like switch back and forth between Ellie and Joel, like where he's trying to get to her, and then switches back? Yeah, that's what I thought.
You do.
I was like, this is just like the game, where like it would switch to him like going on a murder spree trying to get to her, and then her trying to escape, and then there's the boss battle, and then it's amazing. And in the game, it's like, again, I keep saying it, but they did like this is a perfect adaptation because they adapted it, but they changed things to make it more watchable on TV. Because obviously you're not playing in a video game. Because in the video game, you fucking murder thousands of people.
Yeah.
But in this one, it's like him trying to progressively get closer to like where she is, and like I just love the way that they did that. They've been so thoughtful with every single one of the changes, and that leads into the next episode, which is even probably one of the best changes that they made in the game. If we're done with this episode.
Yeah. Go on to the next one.
Okay.
The finale.
So for the finale, it starts off with a pregnant woman running from one of the infected, and she ends up, trying to fight him off, and she ends up killing the infected, but while she's giving birth, but she ends up getting bit, and when she sees it, she cuts the umbilical cord and holds the baby, and that ends up being Ellie, and so that gives the backstory of why Ellie is immune. It's because she was going to be infected, but her mom cut the cord before she can be fully infected. And it gets
amazing.
Go ahead.
When I saw the scene, the first thing that popped in my head was Blade. Like that's literally how Blade to get his baby to be a daywalker. That his mom was bit while she was pregnant with him, and then she went into labor. So yeah.
And then in that same scene, you fast forward a little bit, Marlene and the Fireflies show up.
Yeah, that was heartbreaking. That was hard to watch.
And they're friends. Marlene was there basically the first day of Ellie's life, friends with her mama. And the mama's like, look, you take her. Her name is Ellie. Give her this fucking switchblade. And, make sure she has a good fucking life. But take care of me because I don't want to be, some fucking zombo. Marlene at first refuses, but of course gets it done in terms of taking her out or whatever. And that's really the birth of Ellie, like from straight up violence and sacrifice, here
You
we
know,
are.
uh, I'm just thinking about something like so far every time a person's been like bitten, we don't see them die. Or am I missing something? Because homegirl from Fringe, like she got bitten, but she blew herself up. But the camera was on the outside of the building.
You mean you don't see him turn fully?
Well, not that you don't see them turn, you don't see them die. Like when Elliot's mom died, like the shot from outside of the room, and
Well,
you see
well,
like the blast.
we saw Sam.
Which one
Sam,
was Sam?
the little black boy.
Yeah.
He got bit, and then we saw him get blasted.
Do we?
Yeah, he shoots him in the head.
Mm-hmm.
And
His
then he kills
brother.
himself, but yeah.
Yeah.
Super sad.
Okay, so they showing black on black violence, but not.
But yeah.
That scene was really cool, and like like because her friend was gonna kill her at first. She was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. She like walks away, and then like she tells her homeboy who doesn't do it. He's like, cover the baby's ears. He doesn't cover the fucking baby's
Yeah,
ears.
so I was
that
like, you didn't
motherfucker
cover her ears. Like,
He didn't cover the baby's ears. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Come on, you had one job.
He had one job. He didn't do shit. He just sat there. I was like, God damn,
people are
motherfucker.
crying.
Got the baby holding the fucking switchblade. What the fuck kind of a person are you? What kind of adult are you? Shit. But that was a great backstory. And I want to say, for those who haven't played the game, that's not a part of the game at all. You know, and a completely new scene. And it was so appropriate, especially in the finale, that we got that sense of closure in terms of where Ellie came from. So I really love that. And then, we go back to quote unquote present day. Obviously Ellie has killed David. They're on the road again. They're still headed to the hospital and shit.
One quick thing is that the lady that plays Elliot's mom is actual voice actress for Elliot in the game.
Ellie, yeah.
Ellie in the game. But also, what other crazy story? She's a little girl from Growing Pains.
Oh shit, yeah.
Like you go back and rewind the tape. Yeah, she's the little girl that like joins the cast in Growing Pains and like I don't know whatever season, but yeah, she does a lot of voice work, which is kind of crazy. Like I looked at her resume and like yeah, she's like the voice of some characters in Teen Titans and Young Justice. Like she does a lot of stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, she did an excellent fucking job. But going back to their journey, Joel and Ellie headed towards the hospital. I fucking love the fact I already mentioned it, but Ellie is out of it. Like Joel's trying to talk to her and like make jokes or just engage with her, and she's got that 1,000 yards away stare. She's not even hearing him. She's doing like kind of a fake listening kind of thing, but it's because she's been through some fucked up ass trauma with that shit with David, and I love the fact that they didn't just kind of gloss over, because in the game, yeah, you do that boss battle and then it's on to the next fucking killing of zombies and clickers and and trying to listen out for them. In this, it has more of an impact.
yeah, it's like I mentioned before on previous episodes, is that there's persistent damage throughout the series that they really highlight on, that they do way better job in the show than they do in the game. In the game, you're just like you're a killing machine, and there is like definitely harmful moments, but it's not like in the show. In the show, they're showing that these things that you've done are like super serious, and there's consequences, mentally and physically to these people. So I really love that.
Mm-hmm.
One other quick crazy thing is that they did a really good job with casting, because the woman who plays the mom, her and the actress that plays Elliot look fucking similar. Like they have the same kind of like facial structure stuff.
Yeah, they kind of do look a little similar. I'll give you that. So they're trying to make their way through, I think it's Salt Lake, and trying to make it to the hotel or whatever, or the hospital. And you got one of the coolest scenes in the game, and one of the coolest scenes in this episode. Ellie just happens to find a fucking giraffe. You know what I mean?
And it's a real fucking giraffe.
I was looking so hard at it, like, is that CGI? That looks really good. Like,
yeah, I thought too.
What was the budget for this? So that was
the budget of CGI, so let's just get a real fucking giraffe.
Exactly. They looked at the cost.
Get a real thing.
So that was awesome. Eventually,
is that scene in the game too?
Yeah. It's a really cool scene. You pet it, and good dialogue there.
Oh my goodness, I love that. There was like an actual. Hold on, let's admit old Ninja to the party. What's going on,
Dude,
Ninja?
that was her emotional
Why is your
support
dick out?
animal.
Oh, okay. I have arrived. You've arrived. All right. I thought you got another cat in your hand.
No.
Damn.
Yeah.
Having the right note there.
We're talking about The Last of Us, the finale.
Yeah.
One of the things that I liked about one of the things that Ellie said in the episode, I think it was around the same time, was that she was talking about going to the moon, and I was like, "Oh, that's like a thing. It's like a foreshadowing."
Mhm.
And I was
Mhm.
trying to like not tell Kay like exactly what that meant, but I was like, "There's a reference to that
Yep.
in the next season, and it's gonna be really cool."
And right after the giraffe, Joel is trying to convince Ellie, like, hey, we don't have to fucking do this. We can just go back to Jackson, Wyoming. My brother's there, Maria's there. We can just make a fucking life over there.
The
And Ellie's
people.
like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like, we came all this way, all the way across the fucking country. I'm the only one that can save the fucking world. This can't be for nothing, which is something that is so prevalent in the game. That phrase,
Yeah.
endure and survive. This can't be for nothing. And she just has this overwhelming belief, and Joel's like, all right, fine. So they get captured by, we don't know it at the time, but by the Fireflies. And Marlene basically wakes up, or Joel wakes up, and Marlene is there, and they're in the hospital. And Joel's like, where the fuck is Ellie? And Marlene drops the news that she's getting prepped for fucking surgery. And he says, I want to see her. And Marlene says, you can't do that, Joel. Please understand that basically they have to do brain surgery. And I forget how she said it, but one way or another, Ellie's not going to make it through this, but we're going to get a cure and save the world from it. And it's a hard decision for me, but this is what it is. And Joel says, fuck everything you talking about.
Yeah.
So
Well, they escort Joe out of the fucking building. They gave him his box with his stuff and was like, "Hey, you've been fired. You need to leave the premises." Joe's like, "I don't want to go. I don't want to go." And then he's like, "Hey, man, you got the time?" And he just started wrecking shit.
Yeah, he basically put
Joe
on
went
God
from
mode. He was
having-
like IDDQD and then just went God mode. And
he did.
what I liked about this is the total change from the game. Because in the game, you got to be like John Wick. You just kill like hundreds of motherfuckers, and it's fun.
Yep.
But in the game, or I'm sorry, in the show, it's like way more somber. It's like
Mhm.
he's getting through killing all these people, but it's like taking a toll on like his soul. And yeah,
you could see it on his face. He's not happy. He's not even angry. He's just a million miles away,
yeah,
just doing what he had to do. And then the other thing I loved is after kills, it's not like, oh, let me just find some random ammo around. No, he would
Yeah.
have to pick up a new gun and hope that there's
I
some
love
ammo
that.
in it from someone he just killed, which I loved. I mean, it was an action-packed scene, but you could tell, like Krona said, every fucking bullet, every fucking kill is taking away his humanity all the way around.
That scene where he's like where he's killing people and like he picks up somebody else's gun. I'm like, dude, that's just like in every fucking video game. Oh, not every video game, but that's like in a lot of video games where like when you run out of ammo and you ain't got no other gun,
Yeah.
you have to take your enemy's thing. And you don't see that in like movies and stuff.
Well,
Motherfuckers be walking by guns.
It's
It's
like,
like,
I got the shitty
yo,
one
you
now,
need-
but I got to use it.
Yeah, hey, man, you got to use what you got to do. But like, he was just because it was funny because earlier, the homegirl, black girl, she was saying like, she was like, I don't know how you did it, how you were able to get here with just the two of you. Like I had a platoon with me, and we almost got killed. And like right at that scene, I was like, oh man, shit's about to go down. But like, yeah, it's fucking one man wrecking crew just murdering fools. And then once he gets to where Elliot is,
one of the most fucked up parts about it is like the guy who like gave up and he was like put his hands up, put his gun down, and then he was like, okay, basically thank you, and he fucking killed him anyway. I was just like, god damn, man. Like, but that's Joel. That's how grimy Joel is. Joel will do some shit like that to get to his goal. Like, and I think that people need to remember that Joel is not a good person. Like after his daughter died, he fucking did some shit.
So let's rewind a little bit. Sorry, we went too fast. One of the most important scenes from this episode was Joel and Ellie talking to each other, and Joel has a fucking confession.
Yeah.
And he said, you know what? I didn't get this scar on, right by my ear and by my,
Oh,
by my
yeah.
from, you know, a missed bullet or a missed shot from somebody, one of the Raiders or whatever. No, I tried to fucking kill myself. And Ellie takes that in because she's still fucking shell shocked from all the shit with Rapey David. And basically, Joel also tells her it wasn't time that got me through the dark period with Sarah dying like 20 years ago. You know, pretty much he doesn't say it, but it's like in the subtext, it was you. You know what I mean? And spending time with you. And I fucking like was just almost, almost got a little sobby. Like that was fucking hard, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, goddamn.
I shed a bunch of tears.
Yeah.
Especially, like when you're, I think it probably hits like fathers probably a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Because like just imagine like your kid died, and then you got somebody else that is you take them on as your kid.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You get to form similar bonds. They're not the same, but they're similar bonds, and it's just like getting that part of yourself back. That means a lot, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, especially when you talk about, and again, they haven't shied away from topics, and that was. I'd have to go back to all of the dialogue. I don't remember him explaining that in the game at all in terms of an attempted suicide. He said he did some dark stuff, but
he doesn't. In the game, he doesn't. Oh, I guess. Do you not watch the after the episode?
I do, but I couldn't remember if they mentioned that was a something only for the show.
Yeah, they mentioned that was only for the show. They wanted to do some deeper stuff. Same thing with Ellie's mom. That was another deep issue because we don't see that in the game. You never see Ellie's mom.
Yeah, we did mention that before you jumped on.
Yeah, but in the game, in the game you don't see her. You guys talked about how the actress that plays the mom is actually the voice of Ellie.
Yep.
Ashley Johnson. She was on Growing Pains. She was the little one.
Man, you going backwards with us.
Yeah.
Going back.
Yeah.
So I was really late.
Yeah, but the thing is, what even though he talks about, he alludes to Ellie bringing him out of his funk, he compares her to his daughter. He talks about how much they are alike and how much they would probably like each other because they're very similar. And he kind of, in a weird kind of sense, he kind of like dreams up a situation where the two of them are friends.
Yep.
And he kind of explains that to her. Like, I imagine you two would do this and do this. Like, he kind of saw this, like, in his mind's eye. So
that was a trip. But back to the fucking hospital, goddammit. Holy shit. And Joel is on, I don't know, 8 or 9 plus body count now. And he finally enters the OR,
the
pediatric surgery room.
Yeah.
And I mean, everybody who's played the game knows exactly what the fuck time it is. But I'm sure it was shocking for those who haven't. Joel busts in there, and the surgeon looks at him and says, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. Picks up a scalpel and was like, I need you to get out of here, or something to that effect.
He thought, I'm not allowed to take her.
Yeah. That's what he said.
So hard.
You're not allowed. I'm not allowing you to take her. I'm not going to let you take her with a scalpel or whatever. Joel got a handgun of some sort, shoots him straight up in the fucking head.
Like no hesitation at all. Like I think he was trying. He was in the middle of justifying what he was doing, and Joe was like, "Yeah, tell it to God if you believe in him."
Yep.
Damn.
And the nurses or
that knife fight.
The nurses or assistant surgeons or whoever they were. Obviously, there's an Easter egg in there too, which we'll get to. But they got their hands up. He tells them to turn around. I thought he was going to murder them too.
Right? I was like, damn. Joe, I was going to say, Joe is fucking cold blooded if he kills these chicks.
Man, it's all bad. You see the surgeon's body just lifeless on the fucking floor, bullet wound to the fucking head, and he gets Ellie. He tells the assistant surgeons or whatever, unhook her. I'm taking her basically. And
patch her up.
Yep. He takes her out. You see him in the garage holding her in his arms, holding Ellie in his arms, very similar to how he was holding Sarah 20 years ago. And Marlene stops him in the fucking hallway, and they have a conversation. And basically, if someone else wants to set it up, go ahead.
Odin, do you remember? Go ahead, because you're just joining. So
I was like reliving the whole moment. I don't want to stop.
Okay.
Yeah, keep going now. Because I want
Yeah,
to chime in. I want to get back to the Easter egg when he finishes.
No,
yeah, but
I complete it if you
Just
want.
yeah, go
go,
ahead,
go
go ahead.
ahead, go ahead,
Yeah,
go
so
ahead.
basically, she's justifying, she could save the whole world, and
Mhm.
it's hard for me too. And Joe didn't want to hear none of that shit. Fucking, there were some flashbacks, but it ended up being a flash from his fucking muzzle because he was holding.
Yeah.
Because unlike last time, he was holding a gun underneath Ellie as he was
Elliot's
holding
legs.
her, and just fucking shot her not once, not twice, but thrice.
Yes,
So,
made sure she
yeah,
was dead. He said something to the effect of, "You'll just come after us." You know,
yeah,
I'm going to make sure there's none of you left to come for me. And I was like, "Ooh, wait a minute."
yeah.
Dude, when he shot her, like when it happened, I was like, "Oh shit, she shot him!" Like, what the fuck's gonna happen? Or like, did somebody else come out of nowhere and shoot her? And they show Joe with a gun like underneath her legs. I'm like, damn, this guy he's like fucking Daryl from The Walking Dead. He's just fucking prepared.
He
Zero
didn't give a
fucks.
single fuck, and so
Nope.
they're at the end of the episode. He's driving away from the facility, and Ellie wakes up, and Ellie asks what happened, and he fucking lied through his goddamn teeth about what happened. He's like, nah, it turns out there was a whole bunch of people that were
Rape.
immune, but they couldn't figure it out. There's like at least a dozen, and yeah, so they couldn't really help you, which doesn't explain why she was knocked out, but whatever. And so
Well,
it's
he said something too, like, "Oh, and the hospital got raided."
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and somebody else killed all those people with my bullets. But yeah, you can tell
Got
that
raided by
she kind
you.
of didn't believe him.
Yeah.
She even asked, is what you tell me is true, and he was like, yeah, and
Like,
yeah.
swear to me.
He did say, she looked that man in his eyes and said, "Hey, we kind of got a father-son vibe. We've been through this whole road trip together. Swear to me that you're telling me the fucking truth, old man." And this motherfucker looked at her and was like, "Yeah, I swear. Don't you even worry about it. Let's go get pancakes with my brother."
Yeah.
You know?
Let me wash this blood off my hands real quick, like all of it.
Oh, even so, because she knows about Marlene and her relationship to her mom,
Oh, she even asked about her. Yeah,
even asked about her, and he doesn't answer.
yeah.
Which his silence is her answer, and she
Yep.
knew.
Which
And he didn't say she died by my hands. He's like, I double tapped on her. He didn't say any of that shit.
even
He
that,
just
like there's a consequence from like what he did with Joel and Ellie in the
Mhm.
next season. So
consequences
Yeah.
coming.
Okay. So does the show wrap up on the first game? Like, does season one
Yep.
wrap on the first game, or are we like
That was
halfway?
good.
Damn, are you serious?
it
Yeah, it
does,
was
which
the
is
first
crazy
game.
because I didn't think it was going to.
Yeah.
But they kind of it's funny because they kind of went like sort of slow through like the first like probably 6 or 7 episodes, and then kind of condensed a lot.
Yeah.
And
There's like a lot of like side quests or like what's it called? Filler episodes. They're not even filler episodes because the episodes were fucking great. Like the story with about the two bears, and we got to see Elliot's backstory with her and her girlfriend. And I think those are the only two flashback ones, really. I guess no, we got one. No, that was in the first episode with Joel,
all
where we
that
got to
stuff's
see like what happened to him.
I mean,
All
all
that's in the
that stuff's
game.
in the game or expanded upon,
Yep.
which is good. But I just feel like at the end they did condense some things, but it's okay because the story is still really cohesive, and for me, it's a fucking 10. I loved every single goddamn episode. For me, there wasn't one where I was just like, I kind of was, not so great. They were all fucking great for me. I loved it.
The great thing about this is obviously not everybody fucking played the game, and I get that. But you feel like you know the fucking Last of Us story after playing this, and then I feel like they set up things perfectly for the next season.
Oh yeah,
And we all love Pedro Pascal. We all love the actress for Ellie, who is, oh God, why am I blanking on her name?
Bella Ramsey.
Bella
Yeah.
Ramsey, yeah. She's just fucking knocking it out of the park. She's a really great actress. Obviously, Pedro is. This shit fucking went hard as fuck. And prior to this, from a live action video games, not movie, but TV series standpoint, we haven't seen anything like that. We all had our fucking doubts that this would be epic. I'm not shitting on Halo. I haven't seen it. But this changed the fucking narrative on video game adaptations.
Well, especially because we had Uncharted, which is another fantastically written game that was turned into a movie, and it wasn't that good.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it, but I heard. Yeah, I should probably reserve what I'm saying.
I was,
But it's
yeah, I thought it was decent.
but it wasn't as good as The Last of Us, right? I mean,
No, so
no,
the thing about Last of Us compared to almost every other video game to screen property is that this carried the narrative over from game to screen. Like nothing, very few. There weren't strays. There weren't added characters to, uh, uh, carry the story or push the narrative. Everything was pretty much almost shot for shot,
Yeah.
even though it wasn't shot. I mean, it was shot in mocap, but pretty much the narrative as a whole was preserved on screen versus other properties. They're kind of they go. Some of them don't even follow. They just take the name of the franchise and slap
Yeah.
on whatever story they want. And this one went from like literally like lane for lane. So
Well,
we almost never see that.
and it's been 10 years since the first game came out on PS3. At the time when people were playing through it for the very first time, didn't know shit about this because this is a brand new IP at the time. When you did that hospital scene with Joel, that shit was controversial as fuck. Like, it split the fucking gaming community in terms of plenty of people saying, fuck Joel, and other people saying, Joel is the fucking greatest. He's the man. Yeah, do it for Ellie. And I think even after this episode of the HBO series, you have some conflicted feelings about whether what Joel did was right or fucking wrong,
Yeah.
or in between.
I know. I stand there with that situation. It's like, yeah, I know Joe was there to protect like Ellie, and like they were gonna fucking basically kill her to be able to like save everybody's life. But then again, like he almost had a bit of a psycho feel to him. Like like he killed all these people to save like a girl that he like barely knows, but like now he's on this impression on her that it's his daughter. So and then he like turns around and lied to her. Like it Pedro did a really good job of coming off like as being kind of creepy, but also kind of being like good. Like that, it was a weird situation. Like he was a bad guy and a good guy at the same fucking time. Because yes, he saved her life. Then he also killed all these people. But then like millions of other people are gonna die because like there's a cure. There could be a cure. I mean, there's no 100% guarantee that it was gonna work. Everything was like a theory or assumption that like taking like her brain, something from her brain and culturing it could make a vaccine or whatever. But
yeah,
I mean, it's crazy.
one of the things that I liked about the way that Joel is portrayed, especially in this show, is that he really shows like the really kind of broad spectrum of like what I consider like, well, partially of like masculinity in general. Because for me, like when somebody, because I know like especially in today's terms, like people have like a really kind of weird view of like masculinity today, and for me, like one of the main things of like being masculine is like protecting people, right? And that's like for me, that's like one of the higher tenets of being masculine is like protecting other people. It doesn't mean protecting women or whatever. It's just protecting people in general. People that are less capable than you. And I think that in this series, you can see one of those, that specific tenet of him holding that above like all else, like protecting his people above all else, but also like one of the downsides of what most people like see as like a shitty side of masculinity is like taking violence like way too far and like being way too quick to violence. And so I understand that as well. So like seeing like that sort of, is it like dichotomy, I guess, of like these two different views of like protecting people, but also like committing horrific acts of violence on others that you deem not protectable is like a really fine line. And I love the way that they do that because it makes it really it makes everybody think about it of like, hey, if you want somebody to protect people and do these things, it's like, what does it mean to the people that you're protecting them from? Like, how's it going to affect them? Because they're trying to do the same thing. Like all those people, all those other dudes that were in the show, they were trying to protect their own people.
Yep.
And they're considered wrong. Obviously, I'm not going to make excuses for the fucking rapey guy because that's fucking gross. But other people in the show, You know, they were starving. You know, they had things that they wanted to protect. They wanted to survive. And I think it hopefully it gives people um, something to think about when it comes to like men in general and like masculinity. Because yeah, like I said, for me, like the highest thing is like being able to protect people, but
Yeah,
that has consequences still.
I'm
So
glad you
Yeah.
touched. I'm glad you touched upon that because reflecting back on season one, you see some of the worst men in
yes,
terms of like rapey David, but you also see some of the worst women in terms of remember the one who was hunting Sam
oh yeah,
and you know she was extremely violent, torturing people. You know what I mean?
Like,
Unnecessarily torturing people. But the biggest thing for me is society has lost its faith and trust in each other. And that's like this pervasive theme that you always see in these dystopian, apocalyptic zombie kind of things, kind of stories. But it was so interesting in this one because when you really think about it with Joel, he double tapped on Marlene, who he knew and
triple
trusted.
tapped.
He triple tapped, yes, on her, even though he knew and trusted her historically for probably decades or several years, because he's thinking, oh, he's just going to come and get revenge on me. Don't trust anybody, even the people who you know, let alone someone holding their hands up and saying, I don't have a weapon. I'm not going to come after you. Fuck that. I'll shoot him now.
Yeah,
well, we
There's
kind of
no sense of I trust another person, whether you know them or not.
we kind of got when Ellie let the other guy go to go get the medicine, and dude showed back up with like a gun. Like that was like like when she let him go, I was like, okay, he actually got to come back and like bring the medicine. But when he showed up with the gun like behind her or something like that, I was like, that makes fucking sense. Like clearly the dude was gonna do that, but like the Reverend dude like basically almost like saved her. But like kind of jump back to the whole Joe thing. Like the the thing that really made me seem like he was kind of going kind of crazy was the fact that he was like killing people that was unarmed. Like the person who put the
Mhm.
gun down was like willing to surrender. But then again, like yo, the gun's still there. Like he still posed a threat. So I have to just take him out while I can. But yeah, it's just I don't know. This whole entire show definitely was a fucking 10. Like it was so well. The acting was great. The scenes were great. The story was fucking great. Like everything was like really well done. But you said there's an Easter egg with the scene in the
So
hospital, right?
Yeah, set it up, old ninja. You wanted to say the hospital scene have the Easter.
yeah, so the hospital scene, apparently there's supposed to be two. One of them most people kind of know about because it's very blatant. Is that one of the nurses after, or the surgeon helpers, or um, maybe they're fellow surgeons, but in the hospital after the main surgeon is shot in the head, one the surgeon on the or the nurse on the left is Laura Bailey. Laura Bailey is famously the voice of Swole Abbey in The Last of Us Part Two. So
Yep.
Laura Bailey is
and don't
also the
say
voice.
nothing about Swole Abbey. Just
I
put
won't say
respect on
nothing
her
about
name.
Swole
That's all.
but Laura Bailey is also a voice. She voices a couple of characters in the original Last of Us game, but they're all minor characters. But so
Mhm.
she's a part of both games. She just has a upgraded level in Last of Us Part Two. And then the scene where Joel is having a firefight in the hallway with two of the guys. There's a scene where it cuts to him, and he's like, I think he's trying to reload or whatnot, or he's waiting for a shot. There's like a head of someone at the end of the hallway. It's a blink and you miss type scene. Apparently, people were saying that that was Abby watching Joel as he's going through killing people, as she
Damn.
sees
Huh.
his life. So
Damn.
That'd be
it's like
interesting. Yeah.
it's a blink and you'll miss it type thing, but there's a head there looking down the hallway like it's like that.
Can I mention something really quickly from several episodes back that I thought was so fucking brilliantly played out? Um, when they're in Jackson, Wyoming, or whatever, with Joel's brother and Maria, they have a little quick scene with Ellie in the movie theater, and maybe I mentioned this previously, but it just fucking stuck with me. When you talk about trust and whatnot, they have a developmentally disabled kid in that theater, and I was like, holy shit, the amount of challenge that the parent and the child would have in this fucking apocalyptic world or whatever. And then obviously when you have Sam, who was deaf on that episode as well. And they showed the American Sign Language stuff. Neil Druckmann needs to get more props for being inclusive and diverse in a variety of ways that show, hey, there's a lot of different types of people struggling, just to survive and make it, and have some sense of trust and community and all of that other stuff, even though there's infected and raiders and all this other bullshit going on. So I give them props, man.
Yeah, I hope this gets like a lot of awards. I think this has surpassed House of the Dragon as far as ratings goes.
Yeah.
Which is fucking amazing because I mean, House of the Dragon is House of the Dragon. I mean,
It's fucking killing
expecting a TV adaptation of a video game to get better ratings than not J.R. Martin, George R. R. Martin, yeah, adapted, well established fucking show is amazing. I hope that Neil Druckmann. I know they're working on. They're going to work on The Last of Us Part 3. I'm looking forward to it. I know they have another game in the pipe that they're working on first. But man, I hope that he starts directing. This is the same thing I probably said it multiple times on this podcast, but this is what I want to see Hideo Kojima do.
Yeah.
Is he needs to make probably movies, probably more his speed. But if he wants to do TV shows, I'll watch that as well. Hideo Kojima, he does. It's way weirder, so I don't know if it's gonna appeal to a wider audience.
Translate.
But he knows a lot about setting up scenes and cinematography and how to set up action. Like he does a really good job with that. I think that his style of video game, like in general, will adapt well to the silver screen.
Yeah.
Just a quick note, going back to what Project was talking about. So the making Sam's brother deaf in the show, that was actually the producer's idea. And it's funny because Neil Druckmann was upset because he felt like he should have thought of that when he was making the game, and he loved it so much when they put in the show. He just wished that he had a thought about it, and they loved it in the show. He loved it when it was pitched to him. He wanted it desperately in the show. There's another thing that it's Bill's perspective in their flashback is something he wanted to explore in the game, I guess. And the producers took that and flipped it to him, so he loved that pitch, and he wanted to show the slightly different angle from the story-wise, narrative-wise, for the TV audience. So watching the into the episode type interviews are very, very interesting, especially when you hear the producer, the writer, and then they interview the actors after and their perspective on each episode. Brings a bit more insight into it, a lot more, especially the finale. That one had a lot of work going into it, a lot of stuff. Easter eggs that they're saying. They don't mention like, hey, we did this for the next season. They just did it to complete the story. That's their focus, to tell the story, to make sure everyone got the point, and to put Joel and Ellie in a position where it's kind of uncomfortable, but they still need to go on.
Look at these young ass actresses fucking killing it. When you think of Jenna Ortega, from Wednesday, and everybody fucking loves her now. And I'll even watch fucking Scream. I'm a couple of Scream movies behind. I'll fucking watch it if she's in it.
She is.
Bella Ramsey just fucking kicking ass. These girls can't even legally drink yet.
You know what bothers me is that like people on the internet, they compare the way that Bella Ramsey looks and the way that Ellie looks in the game. I'm just like what is the? That's fucking creepy. Okay, because you're trying to explain to me that somebody who is a teenager, that one is more attractive than the other. Is that what you're trying to tell people?
Because they're fapping to Ellie back then. Back in 2003,
that's so fucking gross. Like her as an actress, she nailed acting as. Does she look completely like Ellie? No, but neither does fucking Joel. Like,
yes,
he doesn't look like him either. Like, so I don't understand like that whole hate. It's just people are so fucking disgusting, and I don't fucking get that part of it. Like, just her acting alone has been fantastic, and she was a great actress when she was in Game of Thrones.
Sure was.
So if you're hung up about the way that she looks and I don't know. I don't want to get in the whole thing, but just stop being fucking gross.
Yeah,
Dude, so
to me, she looked the fucking part in a whole lot of ways. It's not a carbon copy of the game in terms. I remember Ellie in the game, especially as in the part one, having more freckles or whatever. But it's freckles. Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Like, what
Yeah.
you doing?
Ellie in the game looked like Elliot Page. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
very, very strange.
Crazy, one little crazy thing. So I was looking at Laura Bailey's like resume, so the one who does the voice of a Swole Abby.
Well, Abby.
Dude, she's got a crazy ass fucking laundry list of stuff she's
Oh, yeah.
done as far as voicing.
Yeah.
But like most of her work is she's been in like a lot of anime. Like
Yeah.
when you look at her on Wikipedia, like her first section for voice acting is anime, and the first thing on her list is fucking Dragon Ball Z. She was the voice of Trunks, of young Trunks.
Oh shit.
But then she also was in like Yu Yu Hakusho, or Hakusha. Wait, fuck, I fucked that up. But she was in Case Closed, fucking Full Metal Alchemist. She was in fucking Berserk. She like her like One Piece. She does a couple of voices. Claymore. Oh, I love Claymore. But she's also the
Claymore's
voice of Naruto's mom in Naruto Shippuden. It's kind of cool, but like,
She's voice acting royalty.
Yeah.
oh yeah, for sure. But as far as like like she's been in like maybe 12 American anime or animation. But like, yeah, like wow, she's been in like Batman Unlimited, like a bunch of different shit.
Yeah. Well, fucking kudos to HBO. Kudos to Neil,
Dude.
Pedro, Bella, all of them. Like,
Dude, her video game list is even longer. Holy shit, I didn't even get to that part.
She's in a lot
It's
of
like
games.
this log after anime.
yeah.
It's funny because she's in Prodigy's favorite game, Marvel's Avengers. She's the voice of Kate Bishop, and you can totally tell it's her too, especially after her being Swole Abby. I'm like, hey, I recognize that voice. That's Swole Abby.
They gave me that game for free on PS Plus. I still haven't touched it.
Oh, should I didn't even download
Oh, shit.
it. And I
So
fucking put
she
the beta.
She did the voice of Selena Kyle, Catwoman in Batman the Telltale series.
Nice.
It's kind of cool. Which I played, which I loved.
All right.
I gotta go back and play it. Like played it a couple more times.
All right, let's switch it up. I know
Let's
you.
switch gears a little bit. Let's I'm gonna take y'all motherfuckers to the future. All right.
Okay.
Oh
Take y'all to the
shit!
future. All right. So
Ready.
this week
Yeah.
or last week or whatever, I bought a PSVR 2.
Ooh.
Remember a couple weeks ago when I was talking about how it was all like it was
You
zero
could
down
buy it.
financing on Klarna? I was just like, well, fucking, I'm gonna buy it because it's zero down financing. Why not? I had the money to buy it anyway, but I was just like, why not? But for some reason, the Klarna thing was broken with like my bank, so I couldn't buy it for like a couple of weeks. And so I finally got it, and holy
Nice.
fucking shit, the PSVR 2 makes my HTC Vive seem like I bought that shit off Wish.
God damn.
Like this headset is, and I've used multiple headsets before. Back when we used to go to, VR conventions and shit like
AW.
that. Like this, god damn, especially for the price. God damn, and people complain about the price. They're like, oh, it's more expensive than the PS5. It's
But-
like, okay, but my fucking Vive cost $1,000. All right.
Yeah.
And well, basically, it was like $900, and I needed a $3,000 rig to play it.
Yeah.
This is a fucking steal. This is a fucking steal to get. When I first put it on,
How much is it?
It's $550 for this.
Okay, yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it's
That's cheaper. That's cheaper than a fucking cell phone.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
another
for
thing.
real.
I always get back to the cell phone price. Like people always talking shit about prices of gaming shit or whatever, but it's like a cell phone's like basically $1,000 nowadays. So why the fuck you complain? You have one, like you get a new one, like you're basically every fucking 3-4 years. So shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Every year. Some people
Um,
get it every year.
Yeah. So this shit is the goddamn future. I was blown the fuck away the minute that I put it on, and just when I saw like because there's cameras on here, when it showed like when I tried to like do the outline to do like the standing, I forget the name of the fucking thing, but
Oh, the virtual walls. Or
when you do room scale. Sorry,
scale.
I've been
Yeah, yeah.
drinking. But when you do room scale, like when it shows like when you look around for it, it's fucking amazing. The fact that you don't need, so I'm back with HTC Vive. I need to put up like these IR emitters, so I knew where everything was. You don't need any of that shit anymore. Everything's just with that and the two controllers, which are really good. People might complain about like the battery life because they last about 2, maybe 3 hours. But if you're playing VR for like 2 or 3 hours, that's a fucking really long time.
A long fucking time, dude.
Yeah, that's a really long time to play VR. If you wanted to have something that was that had more battery life, they'd be too heavy. To be honest with you, because like you want to have something that's relatively light, and batteries when you put add in more cells into them, they're going to get heavier. And we all know nerds are fucking weak, so stop it. The controllers are amazing. They are just like the DualSense controller. They have the haptic feedback on the controller. There's fucking haptic feedback in the headset. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, when it first happened, like when it started rumbling on my head, I was just like, oh shit, like what is going on here? It's fucking amazing. The first thing I played was because I got the bundle with what's the name of that game? Horizon Zero Dawn Call of the Mountain, I believe it's called.
Yep.
And the first scene that I dropped into, like you're in like a boat, and the first thing I said was holy shit, because everything looks so fucking real. And it was just like I was so fully immersed in this fucking game because there's like it's basically an on rail scene, and like you're in this boat and you're going down like this little river stream thing, and these machines are going around you, and you could feel them in your hands and on your head. When you feel them on your head, like you feel it in like your body, like it's super weird. And so like you feel like when things are like walking around you, like you can feel it in your body because it's like on your head.
Man.
And they have this thing called because it has eye tracking on it, and so it's called foveated rendering. So basically, this is fucking genius. So basically, they only render because they know like where you're looking in the game. They only fully render where you're looking.
What the fuck?
And you can't fucking notice in the game. I couldn't notice at all in the game. I was just like, everything just looks so fucking real and amazing. Like, what, like, how are they doing this? Because it's 4K in each eye, but it's only really 4K like where you're actually looking, and it is so hard to like differentiate. It's seamless unless like unless the headset's not properly on your head, then you can kind of see it, or you're watching it on a TV screen when someone else is playing. You can see like if somebody's looking at something, you can tell where they're looking.
Okay.
Because everything else is blurry. But when you're in the game, nothing else looks blurry. Because like in real life, like when you're like I'm looking at the camera right now, everything else around me is technically blurry, but I don't notice because that's how human vision works, right? Because you just you focus on a certain point, and that's what you see. And it's so fucking realistic looking. It's crazy. And the cool thing about the headset is that it comes with earbuds that are in the headset. You can take them off. There's like a thing back here, or you can just put them up here. But I was using the what do they call it? Those fucking headsets? The Pulse.
Yeah, the Pulse, the white ones.
Yeah, well, I got the black ones. Yeah, here we go. I use the Pulse 3D headset, like on top of it. Holy fucking shit! It's goddamn. It's so fucking good. And the fact that the hands, when you move your hands around, it knows where your hands are when you move them around, in like on the controllers. So like when you're watching in the game, like it knows where your fingers are.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so it's fucking crazy. That's that's not like really a new leap, but it's a new leap to me because when I play on the Vive, like you didn't have that. But I know it's been around for a while. The foveated rendering though is definitely a newer thing, especially for the price of this headset. And then I played Gran Turismo 7.
Sure.
Bruh.
You're not a racing game fan usually.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, I like to play like
Need for Speed. I've caught him playing.
Yeah, no, I do. I play arcade, races. I don't like the realistic ones that much because I know how to drive a car, and it's always different in a game, right? But in this, the GTA 7 or no GTA,
GT7.
Yeah, GT7.
Rainbow.
Yeah, is in VR is fucking amazing. The first time you drop in that fucking car and you hear the fucking sounds and you can feel the fucking haptic feedbacks. And one thing that fucked me up though is that you don't play it with the goddamn VR controllers. Is that you play with the controller?
Okay.
And so that messed me up because it kept trying to tell me to like press the X button. I was like, I'm pressing X, bitch, nothing's working. So you got to pick up your actual controller and then play it. But I get it now because where's my other controller? It doesn't matter. Oh, here it is. So when you're playing, you have a couple of options on like how to play the game, and one of them is like the normal, using the left, right, whatever, the thumbstick. But another way to play it is like actually holding it like a goddamn steering wheel and then just turning it. And I was like, let me just try to do the steering wheel thing. Holy shit, I'm glad I did because it was fucking cool as shit. But one thing that messed me up is because I was playing on my dual edge sense controller, like the new whatever edge, the dual sense edge controller. And I had my fucking trigger where it was like for a first person shooter. So it was like when you shoot, it's like super short throw.
Yeah.
And that like messed me up in the game. If I turned it down for like the full throw, it gives like the full throttle feel.
Ooh, okay.
Right. So there's like way more play in like the trigger control, which definitely helps if you're playing a racing game. But as I was playing, I was like, you know what? This for me would justify getting like an actual full like kart rig, like at the whole steering wheel and the whole like foot pedal thing. Because I was like, this, I get why people would get that now with this. Because like literally as you're playing, you're driving, and normally in a racing game, I usually play like where you can see the car, but you're in the car now. And you have an actual fucking full body, which in most VR games you don't have a full body. Like, because you're wearing, you can look down and you see like a racing suit body, full arms, and like when you're shifting, like it'll shift the fucking gears. You're seeing all the fucking gauges that are real time gauges, like how fast you're going, RPMs, all that shit. When you're going around corners, you can look around, or just look around whenever you want. Look up and around, and it's just like, it's so fucking immersive. Like, it feels like you're really fucking driving. Like, I'd never, ever had this kind of experience for a racing game before. Like, it'd be hard for me to play a normal racing game that's like a race simulator again because of this experience.
Go backwards after this.
Yeah, I don't see how they made. Well, I know technically how they made it so cheap. It's because they don't have pancake lenses. They have the cheaper lenses, which is fine. But they knocked that out of the park. Like this is really gonna kill. Well, it's not gonna kill. It definitely shoots a gigantic hole in PC VR. Because to get this kind of experience in PC VR, you're paying at least $1,000 for the headset alone.
Wow.
At least $1,000, and you're not getting AAA titles for the vast majority of your titles. So
yeah, right now the HTC Vive, they just announced their new headset that's coming out, and it's they don't need the light towers and stuff like that. It's just the headset and controllers. That alone, just for the unit alone, is going to be $1,100.
Yeah, and I know some of them are the newer, some of the newer headsets are standalone, but they're not. There's limitations with standalone because there's space limitations on it because you can't expand the memory, and there's also it's either going to have it. They're usually untethered, which kind of goes to my old argument of like you probably not going to play VR for more than 2 hours at a time, but yeah, there's still limitations there, and you're not going to get AAA titles on there. Like there's not. I'm trying to think of what PC VR games are like a real AAA title.
Vader Immortal? Isn't that
what Immortal?
Vader Immortal. Is that not...
sorta? I mean,
they had
that's one best VR game.
There's another Star Wars game, but it's not. It's not. You can play GTA. Or, I'm sorry, Gran Turismo 7, which is a AAA title, the whole game in VR. And that's like 100+ hours of content.
Oh, I see.
Vader
Immortal, they're like 20 minutes per episode.
Yeah, and that's like, and so, but it's also, that's actually one of the detractors. It's like the main thing that I'll say for the PSVR 2 is the lack of games. There's like less than 30 games out for it right now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But
I was gonna say, Doom. I think Doom is available in VR.
Doom is?
Doomis and
Yeah, okay, that's true.
another game.
There's a couple.
God, I can't think of the name. There's a couple of them, but they're like short. Like they're probably like I don't know, like maybe 15 minutes worth of gameplay.
Yeah,
Oh,
15
Batman Arkham is another one,
That'd be,
but that was short too.
that's kind of, well, Batman Arkham though. Well, okay, but it's like, yeah, they always shorten them up. But with
I felt like I was
but with
Batman.
Gran Turismo 7, that's the whole game, and the whole game is
Yeah.
fucking big, you know. And there's I know Call of the Mountain is going to be a shorter game. I haven't played the whole thing yet, but I hope that Sony has a dedication to putting actual AAA titles, full runs. You need to have like longer games that are not just a tech demo on this, because it's really really good. And like the screen door effect that was sort of minimalized on the Vive, it's almost non-existent because this is OLED. Like the actual displays in the headset, it's 4K 120 hertz OLED displays on both eyes. So when it's black, it's fucking, the pixels are off, and it's totally dark. You can't see shit. And when you look at the actual the way that the actual the PSVR 2 looks, it has like this weird like accordion thing on the bottom, which feels like kind of cheap, but it's not, because when you put it on your face, it blocks out everything, and it has like this. You can actually adjust in and out like how far it is on your face, which my Vive could not do. And when you put the whole thing on, like you put the head part on first, and you can adjust it to your head, and it's like kind of, well, it's not on my head, but there's like a thing on the back where you can like crimp it down, and then you can pull all that out. So it's really adjustable, and it actually has things on here like notches for glasses. And so if you have like glasses, you can easily put them on and then like just adjust how far it is away from your face. And it's like, it's so good. Like in the Vive, like every now and again, I would get the goddamn steam that would go on there from my nose. But you don't get that from here, because like the little nose piece that's on here is really well done. And you can just adjust it further away from your face or closer to your face to like get rid of that steam effect. And there's like a thing on the top, like a hole in the top to like get rid of, like a vent to get rid of that shit too. It's like, it's so well done. I for $550 fucking dollars, this is a goddamn steal.
Dude, we're one step closer to the fucking Oasis.
Yeah, for real.
I'm ready.
I
Me
fucking
fuck it
love
up.
it. Yeah, I really do. This one of my favorite purchases of the year.
Bro, did this make you put down your Steam Deck? Is that what happened?
It's sitting right here, but yeah, it did for a little bit. It's literally sitting right next to me, but yeah, I mean, I stopped playing it for a little bit so I can like enjoy this, and between this and like Hogwarts Legacy, which is cool. I'm gonna actually upload some clips from Hogwarts Legacy onto our channel, because it's on like my personal channel right now. But yeah, it's been great.
And can you like browse like the internet and stuff on using it?
You know where
I
Blue's
know what you're
going.
thinking.
I know where you're
Yeah.
I haven't tried it yet. I know that there's. So apparently, everything. Another thing that's cool with this is it's all on one cable.
I'm about to Google it right now.
It's a USB-C cable. As far as I know, the PS5 doesn't really have a web browser on there. But if you get like an old, it is a NVIDIA RTX 2080. You can plug this directly into there as for like a display, and it'll work. But it's not going to be like VR. I heard that you can get a $350 cable that will make it a VR headset on your PC, which is kind of weird. But yeah, because VR porn is amazing. I don't know if y'all have never tried it. I'm just saying.
Dude, it changed your life.
Bro, this PS5 has a secret web browser. There's a way to access it.
Yeah, it looks like there's an app you can download.
Yeah,
on the PS5.
Killer Frost Yesai said, yeah, it's $144 for the first payment on Klarna if you're buying the PSVR 2, and then it's $144 for like 3 more payments. Like, so people that say that like it's too expensive, but like Klarna makes it literally, you can finance it for like no finance costs. It's like if you can afford $144 for 4 months, like it's a no-brainer if you can afford that and you already have a PS5.
Yeah. Damn, man. I wish you still lived in the area, because I'll be at your house right now playing it or trying it out or something. I don't know.
It's been like the coolest experience that I've had. with VR, and that's like I used to play
Dude,
a
and
lot of VR shit.
like when we went to AWE, I got to try out that 4K fucking VR, the big ass one to make you look like fucking Batman, like
Yeah.
oversized fucking Batman. Like that shit was ridiculous. Like in that demo for that, I remember that fucking clear. That's clear as day. But like in that demo that I did, you're just looking at a fucking car, and I was like, holy shit! Like this shit is like legit. So I can only imagine what it is with
Imagine
the
seeing that
PS5
car
or
and then getting in that car and then fucking driving it,
yeah,
and that's your
Damn.
experience.
I like you stole it.
Yeah, like that's what it is, and it's crazy because like when I played the Gran Turismo experience, it was still downloading when I was playing it. So when you're down, like you can get like on the PS5 when you get in a game, you can get it to where it's ready to play, and so I got to where it's ready to play, and so you get to play like basically three tracks, and so I didn't get to play the full game. I just played like three tracks, like 6 times, and they were all like amazing. Like it was so realistic looking. It was fucking crazy.
That's good shit, man. And
Dude,
how I know
jealous.
you ordered it like 2 or 3 weeks back on the show, I believe.
No, I tried to, and
Oh,
like,
it wasn't successful.
yeah, no, because there was like a problem with like Klarna and my bank for some reason because they wanted me to like sign into my bank, but it wouldn't let me sign in, and so I kept trying every like couple of days after that, and like I literally ordered it like I think like last week sometime, and I didn't do a rush order on it, but I got it in like 2-3 days, so I was just like, that's fine, you know. Heads up though, if you do order one of these, you have to be at home for them to deliver it, so you have to sign for it. So just a heads up.
Okay.
And you can't even buy it on Amazon.
No, you have to buy it directly from Sony.
Yeah, they only have this. Well, they have like a bundle set where you get like you got to buy a PS5 and
Yeah,
no,
no,
it's not even that.
yeah,
Yeah, it's PS5 and Call of Mountain and the headset. You can
Yeah.
buy that for like $1,200.
Just buy it directly from Sony. It's way easier.
Super ignorant ass question. So, is it all digital? How do you load the games? Like,
Yeah, so I got it digitally. This is the Call of the Mountain thing that I got. I'm not going to show you the actual code, even though I used it. But it comes with like this little piece of paper, and like the rest of it, I've just bought digitally. Even though I'm normally not a digital guy, y'all know that shit. But I was just like, whatever, for this stuff. So I haven't tried to buy a physical copy for any of the games yet.
okay,
But I guess you could, because I mean, so with Gran Turismo 7, if you buy the normal game, you get the VR game.
nice.
So
Okay.
if you already have it, it's like if you already have GTA or Gran Turismo 7, just fucking get it. Like it's gonna make your experience. I can guarantee you, unless you have motion sickness with VR, which I didn't get at all with this or really any VR. But there's really, and you can afford it.
Yeah.
This will make your experience 100% better.
Good shit.
Dude, I saw one person playing and they played the Resident Evil Village.
Yeah.
The scene
Oh,
where
I heard about that.
big vampire
Triple A
queen
Shadow.
steps comes to the scene. You're like, God damn it, she's really fucking big. In all categories.
Yeah, I didn't realize how small Aloy was until I played the game, because you see Aloy in Call of the Mountain, and I'm just like, oh, you're a tiny person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're just fucking up everything.
God damn.
Taking down big ass fucking machine monsters,
Shit.
being 4 for nothing.
I still got to play that just the regular PS5 game because they gave it to me last month in their PS collection. I'll do that.
Pinhead beat that. That shit was wild. There's a lot of shit happening in that game, and I don't know how I completed damn near everything in that game.
Good shit.
Wow.
And so I just did a quick little Google search for Aloy's height, and Guerrilla Games have her at 5'6". So that's not.
Is she
Pretty-
5'6"? She didn't seem like
short.
5'6" in the game. I'm not that tall, and she didn't seem like 5'6". But okay.
But yeah, it's DR. Yeah, that's what they show her height at the beginning.
All right.
What's Kay's? How tall is Kay?
She's 5'2", I think. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Good shit.
I gotta say, I mean, Vader Immortal is $30, and apparently it won Best VR of the year when it came out. So, came out in 2020. So,
And that's a licensed Star Wars game.
Yeah, it's on PlayStation VR. But it came out for the PS4, so
Okay.
I don't know if there's a PS5 version or if it'll play. I mean, it should.
Yeah, not there's one for it's called there's a Star Wars game out for it. It's called like Galaxy. I think it's Galaxy's Edge.
Oh gosh, yeah, I think it
Yeah,
might. It's like a Galaxy's Frontier or some shit like that.
something
Yeah, I
like
don't
that.
know.
Yeah.
But the Vader one is supposedly like high. It won a ton of awards when it came out. So
Good
and it's
shit.
only $30.
Because the VR2's got like tens and nines across the board as far
Ooh,
as reviews
shit.
go.
It's I mean, for me, it gets a 10. Like I can't think of like too many detractors from like the actual hardware.
Mm.
Like it's wired, which I'm gonna buy another. I'm gonna buy a tether for my ceiling.
Yeah.
But that's like that's kind of it. Like the only thing that happens sometimes is like where sometimes I gotta adjust the headset just a little bit, but it's not very
Yeah.
often. I'll just adjust it and then just like tighten it again.
Okay.
But as far as like the immersive experience, like it's the most immersive VR that I've used to date.
Let me ask you from the standpoint, because you've had multiple generations of VR, and so is Blue now, I think. Um, do you think this one will linger and last more than 3 to 4 years before they move on to another generation of technological improvements?
I think this will last through the PS6.
Ooh, okay.
So the thing is that I'll have you try it, Prodigy. If you want to come over here, I'll go over there. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because you can play it at your place. I can just plug it in. You just got to make space for it if you want to do
Mhm.
room scale.
Yeah.
And so you can see. But the thing is that it's literally 4K in each eye, and so
Yeah.
that's the current state of the art, right? It's 4K. I know 8K is coming, or 8K is here technically, but nothing really plays in 8K.
Yeah.
So I think that this is going to have um, that longevity if they put in effort to put in more AAA titles with it. So that's why I say that my caveat is the games. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think it can do that for a while. And what's really cool is one thing I was concerned about is that if I'm playing the PSVR 2, can I play a normal like PlayStation game with it? And yes, you can,
Hmm.
because it just projects the screen in front of you, and you can just play it like a normal thing. So if you can literally not buy a TV and just like play this shit on there, and just you want to have a big ass TV in front of you that's fucking 4K, 120 hertz, good to go. Like they got you. So
And it doesn't.
But can you watch porn on there?
I don't know. Yeah, I'll try to figure it out.
All you gotta do,
Alright.
just like you said, get
That's your homework until next week.
just get
Come
the
back
secret
and let me know if you
browser.
can fuck it.
God dang, get the secret browser and you should be able to.
And it doesn't feel. I know you're describing it all the way around, but like it doesn't feel hot or heavy so
Oh,
far.
that's a good question.
No, so this is like significantly. It's super light on your head. It's super light. So like it feels a little heavy. I think if I pull up my HTC Vive, it's gonna be the Vive is gonna be heavier. And the way that it sits on your face is that most of the weight is like literally on like it's distributed. It's distributed around your head, so you don't feel it as much, and it definitely feels lighter. And the fact that you can like adjust like how far it is away from your face definitely makes a difference on like the fulcrum point on like how heavy things are, right? Because that's how physics work. So it definitely doesn't feel heavy on your face. It feels very light on your face. So it feels when you move around your head, you don't feel really impinged at all, except for the cord.
Okay.
Which sometimes you will feel, and that will take you out of the experience. And the controllers are extremely light. Like you can hold your hands up like pretty much in perpetuity, unless you're fucking weak. Which I mean, nerds are. So there's that. But they feel fine in your hand when you're using them. So. And what's weird though is that the button layout is different than what you're used to,
Mm-hmm.
because usually if you look at a controller, like all the buttons are on the right side, right? So, but on this you have to distribute the buttons between two sides, and so when you're going to press buttons, like X is not necessarily Jesus Christ, I'm gonna fuck this shit all up. You see how it's like X and O are on one side, and then square and triangle on the other side. So that takes a little bit to like get used to, but the triggers are intuitive because that's where triggers normally are. And then what's really cool is like if you want to press the PlayStation button, it's on both hands. because
Oh, shit.
which if you have a Switch,
Oh.
you're kind of used to because you can press like the button. It's like you're used to that shit.
So this is interesting. I looked up to see what's the weight for the HTC Vive and the PS VR2. The PS VR2 is 560 grams, but the HTC Vive, like the one we have, is 470 grams. So it's a little bit lighter, but
Is it
that's
lighter?
fucking grams. That's like
Okay,
I,
have
I
to
gotta
look.
look to see what the difference is between grams and pounds.
Well, so
'cause
this is the thing is that with the Vive, all the weight is in the actual
yes, in the
headset.
front,
On this, there's a bunch of shit in the back.
right? It's probably
So
the
that's
weight's
why it's
distributed better.
Yeah, so there's like a whole bunch of stuff that's in the back part of here, and like the front part is actually relatively light. But the Vive, yeah, everything is in the front. All the weight's in the front.
So less titty, more booty.
Yeah.
Let's see, 470 grams. Wow.
And I would recommend if you're gonna get one, just get the fucking little charger base. So
Oh,
it's $50, but if you're gonna, the problem is that if you buy these controllers, there's two of them, and you need to have two. I think it only comes with like one charger cable. They're USB-C, so you can do it, but you have to like have two charger cables everywhere, and it's fucking annoying. So just get the base. There's like a little thing you plug into like the USB-C port in the bottom, and then you just kind of place both of them in the base, and they charge, which makes it easier. Which I figured out the hard way. When I first got them, both of the controllers were basically dead, so I couldn't play for the first night. Thank you very much, Sony.
I wonder. I'm just thinking outside of the box. Do they have any great new like boxing titles? Didn't EA have some of those Fight Nights and all that?
Well, not yet. I know that. See, that's the problem with like this. That's why I said like the software thing, because like one of the things about the Vive is that it came with Steam, and Steam has a fucking long library of VR games, and some of them are boxing
Even indie
games.
games.
But I've not seen a boxing game with the PlayStation VR yet. I can look it up real quick for you on the thing like live if you want. So give me a sec. Because
that might be the way you're describing. That might be a fucking experience. That would be
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, because there's definitely one in Steam which I haven't used yet, which I heard was really good because when you get hit, it gives you like the blackout effect.
Yeah,
It's kind of cool. So I'll look real quick and tell you what's on here. One of the things that's cool about the latest PS5 updates is that they added in a special filter option for game types, and one of them is VR.
Oh shit! Nice.
Yeah, which is super cool.
Go
Give
ahead
me
and
a
support
moment,
it, son.
and I will tell you.
All right. Hey, while we're doing that, old Ninja, I know you joined us late, but what are you playing of late? Because you've been all over the fucking place.
Yeah. Shit. Just to start, I guess. Lifehall dropped for Destiny 2. So I know it's super polarizing at the
Yeah, I
moment.
was gonna say I heard some mixed things.
Yeah, there's a lot of polarizing stuff, mostly from the fans. But the fans, a problem with the Destiny fan base is it's usually pretty toxic. Usually for their content, especially there's the people that have played since Destiny 1 and they live and die by Destiny. Like legit, the only game they play is Destiny. You can see by their accolades that they've earned. Like you can only get that for like hours, not like thousands of hours of playing, which they've done. And then there's like casual people that are new or people that stop playing and they decide to come back. They're like, hey, what do I do with this? And there's a lot of fucking changes when the game first dropped to where it is now. So there's been like this weird war between people that expected like this huge, I don't know. I guess they expected the game to become something it really wasn't. And they expected that big of a change versus the people that, hey, I wonder what's new with Destiny. Oh, okay, we're getting a new dungeon, a new area. It feels kind of the same, but it really isn't. There's a lot of mechanics that have changed, a lot of stuff behind the scenes that have changed. Like they introduced a rating system, so you can play with other people. At the end of the activity, you can rate the other players, and that rating is a system that gives you bonuses the higher you get up, right? So, and then like originally, when you were playing with other people, you could see their rank in the season pass and beyond. They took that all out. Now it's like the you get a ranking system based on how you play. So like playing previous content and playing previous activities will get you a pretty high rank. Helping other people, like the accommodation system that I mentioned, that will get you rank up. A lot of people are upset, especially veteran players are upset about that. They want to know, they feel like if you're playing with someone that's like a six, because I think the max rating is 12, and the people that are like a six, which is the average for for a veteran player, your average is six. Playing with some of those players, you don't know if they're good or not because they just could have been playing for a long time. They're just not very good.
Yeah.
Whereas the people that want to play with people that can carry them through a raid, carry them through a nightfall, carry them through Trials of Osiris, stuff like that, like high end game content. With their veteran ranking, they may not be good, so they're like, well, if I get this person, there's no guarantee that they're going to help me. Versus someone that's, maybe created a new character or something. Actually, I don't know if it works if you create a new character, but anyone that's like 2, 3, tells you they're new to the game. Like they just either just got the game and just completed like maybe not even the campaign or whatever. So it's like this weird community outburst and stuff. Like I get some people wanted more content, but apparently the amount of money you spent for this new um, DLC is supposed to last you pretty much the rest of the year. So they're dishing out more content kind of per week, kind of sort of.
Do you like it though? I mean,
I
that's
do like it because I bought it and I got the new subclass, and so I'm like, I'm smashing through this. The new subclass requires a learning curve, which is weird
yeah,
to me. So this requires like you have to. They give you a training course when you play through the campaign. You got
yeah.
to try to learn how to use this new power in conjunction with the tools that they give you, and it's very powerful. But you need to know how to maneuver with it, and it can be weird. It can be jarring because you're like, what the hell? You're gonna end up dying just trying to figure out how to use your powers. That's a little weird for people. But there's a lot of cool shit that you can do. Like literally, people are doing what they've been doing recently is like they take a rocket launcher, shoot a rocket, and they have people grapple onto the rocket and let the rocket carry them like across the fucking map, which can do
It's the moon.
wonders for raids. Yeah, it can do wonder for raids, wonders for nightfalls and stuff. So it's been super crazy. I've been playing with two characters at the moment. I've been helping other people, so it's just been weird. That's just the Destiny side. Uh, Modern Warfare updated today, so they added another raid today. They added new map. They added new what they added this season, a new event. This event is basically you have to do all these activities with not activities. You need to do certain milestones with each class of weapon to unlock something. So
Tell the best part that you told us in the chat.
wait, what?
The
Hmm?
shit, the shit that got me all kind of hyped and shit.
Oh, give me a second. Give me a second. Almost there. You don't want to bust too early. You don't want to bust. Hold it back. Um,
No man, you
there's
gotta get to the point. That's when you hit the fast forward button.
Yeah, man.
Money
no.
shot.
You're stroking too hard. You don't stroke too hard too fast.
I got other shit to do.
Rough stroking off. But there's new maps, new raid, new skins, and then they added Shredder from fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Even though you can't buy him yet, yeah, there's a Shredder skin. And, like he looks cool, but you can't purchase him. I think that's either a glitch or they're gonna add something for you to unlock him. But it says you can buy him in the store, but you can't buy him, so it's kind of weird at the moment. But he looks fucking badass.
Better.
Put that. So you get to play a Shredder. You get new. There's some new menu system stuff. So what they added, what I noticed today, is that if your friend is in a game, because this is in previous stuff, if your friend is in a game, you can basically join their party, and then if they're in a game, you can wait. It'll wait. It'll tell you how long their game is before it pairs you up.
Okay.
So you can sit there and be like, oh, I'm gonna do like mess with my classes and whatnot, and it gives you a timer like how much time is in their game. So that's new. There's some other features I haven't tried out today, but yeah, and then Hogwarts Legacy, that's another game, and
Motherfucker,
I'm
you passed up my favorite shit from Call of Duty. What the fuck?
What's
Yeah, what the
fucking?
hell?
What you talking about?
God damn it! I'll fucking do it, even though I haven't played it this week. So you told me that in War Zones, they added motherfucking Pack a Punch. God damn it!
Oh, well, give a fuck about that. I don't know if they added it. Apparently, it's been there for a while.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, apparently you have to get a token. I haven't done it, but in Warzone, Ashika Island specifically, there's an arcade room or it's a cafe. It has like these arcades. You got to put your token in, and you can pack a punch a weapon. So I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is that about? So it's kind of weird. This guy, he actually gives a tutorial how to always get a particular uh, set on a pack a punch. So I was like, what the fuck? He
So
actually does it with other players in the room. So
for those, yeah, but for those who don't fucking know, Pack a Punch usually from Call of Duty Zombies, it always like makes your gun OP, and you can usually either double Pack a Punch or triple Pack a Punch, where it makes it the firing rate go increase, the damage, the amount of ammo you can carry. It just puts your fucking gun on the fucking steroids, and it feels incredible to use it. You know what I mean? No matter what type of gun it is.
So I haven't done it yet, but what it looks like is that you, when you do the pack a punch, you put in. It's like the last one where you put the flavors that you want
The
in your
soda?
gun. Yeah, it look kind of like that, and then it spits out like the gun with those flavors on those mods on it. So I haven't tried it yet. I just know that it's out there. I was like tripping out when I saw it. So personally, I don't give a shit about pack a punch unless it makes me kill like a shit ton of zombies. So maybe zombies is coming later. We don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen anything
It's
as of yet.
usually
But
every other game, right?
usually, but it's kind
It's
of
put in
thing,
every fucking
especially when
game.
you
I don't know
have.
why they do that shit. Give every goddamn game zombies. Fuck them.
I wouldn't be. I'd love that shit.
You know what they need to do
Yeah.
is do like a crossover with The Last of Us. Let's get some fucking clickers up in there.
Yeah.
Nah, it'd be too easy with the Call of Duty. You'd be
You
too
need
heavy.
bloaters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was
Worms.
Swarm.
Like,
Okay.
isn't that what happened with Joe and them when they were like leaving the town?
That was
Like the
bloater.
fucking
Oh,
that fucking gas truck felt. Oh, they were bloaters. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Bloaters
Ooh.
are assholes.
Mhm.
Prodigy, you were asking about the boxing game. No, there's no boxing games, but I already saw that there's more games on the PSVR 2 now than when I first bought it. So yeah,
Good. Okay.
Yeah,
Later.
I just got a game called Pavlov, which is supposed to be really good, and I didn't get it at first because it said it was multiplayer, and I didn't want to play multiplayer. But I guess you can play it single player as well, and there is an actual. So for me, what's really weird is playing some games in VR that are shooters. If you're using a pistol or dual pistols or single-handed firearms, it's fine. But then using like a rifle for me is like weird because I'm a Marine, so it's like weird for me to like use like a rifle with like one hand or like kind of shitty two hands. Because like if you're using two hands, like shooting a rifle, like these aren't really weighted, so it doesn't feel right in my hands.
Mhm.
But apparently already a company made like this rig that is it's basically a gun that you put magnets on like the tops of your VR controllers, and then you click into, and it's like basically a rifle rig. And so you
Okay.
use that, and it's got a buttstock, it's got a barrel, and then your controllers magnetically click into the positions of a rifle, and you can adjust it in the game, like where you're shooting for like adjustments wise. And the reason why it has to be magnetic is because when you're playing VR shooter games, you have to like drop a magazine and then like pick another one up and like put it in. So you have to be able to like click away and then click it back in to like do that. And the same thing, like if you want to like switch weapons, you have to like be able to like let go of this rig and like pick up your pistol and like do things. So I might actually get that because it seems really fucking cool.
All right. Good.
So
Anyway, that's a lot of gaming and a lot of
yeah.
Last of Us talk.
Well, but still, should we talk about the Oscars really quick?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's, because I'm glad who won one, except for one. There's one person who I wanted to win a lot.
That didn't win.
There's one that didn't win. There's one that did won, which
There's a win-win.
That
Who
makes
didn't
sense.
win?
I mean, put it up, old ninja.
Well, first of all,
Alright.
who watched it? Because I should have fucked in.
I saw bits
I
and
didn't watch
pieces
it.
of it. Yeah, I saw bits and pieces. So
I
Sunday night.
think the majority of the podcast never watched the Oscars or the Grammys or the
I feel like when
daytime
when
awards.
our podcast first started, 35 years ago, we probably watched the Oscars a little bit, and no, I don't think none of us do, except for Ninja, which is not surprising.
Oh,
Not in a bad way. Just you're in the industry more than most of us are.
yeah. Well, I had it on because someone wanted to watch it, so I had it on.
You?
No, it wasn't me. Someone else wanted to watch it, so I'm like, all right, cool.
Does she have boobs?
Yeah, she had boobs.
Okay, that makes sense.
Older lady.
Were you feeling them?
No,
No.
definitely not.
All right.
So yeah, we're watching the Oscars, and there's some interesting tidbits that happened. So we got to see I don't want to fuck up his name, but he Hu Kwan from he was in the Goonies.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the Goonies. He was in
Come on, you know where he's really from.
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Dr. Jones. He's in both of those iconic films. He's been out of the movie business for 20 years. Comes back, stars in Everything Everywhere All at Once, and then wins the Oscar. His first Oscar.
And he's got
His
another movie
Oscar-
coming out with shit.
Jackie Chan.
No. Not Michelle Kwan. God damn it. I forget her goddamn name now.
Michelle
Michelle
Yeoh.
Yeah.
His co-star.
Oh,
American Born Asians, I think it's called. Or American Born Chinese, something like that. Yeah. It's coming out later this year.
So, Everything Everywhere All at Once, I think would have been a hard sell for the Oscars like 20 years ago. It's a sci-fi film. I mean, even though it hits every other genre, its core is sci-fi. And this movie was nominated for most of the awards, and it won most of the fucking awards. Michelle Yeoh, congratulations to her. She won Best Actress. I guess the first Asian female to win Best Actress ever in the history of the Oscars, in the nearly 100-year history of the Oscars.
That's pretty impressive.
Did I went back and looked at up her previous work? Like I knew of her, but like going back and seeing like her work that she's done in the past, I'm like she was like super talented, like, especially the stuff that she's been in.
Yeah, I remember her a long time ago from Kung Fu flicks with Jackie Chan. I mean, this is like probably 20, maybe 30 years ago. So I'm kind of old at this point, but yeah. And I remember thinking like she was like a really good martial artist, and for me that was her thing, was like being like this kung fu actress that was like fucking badass. And like seeing her go from like that role in only like in a mainly Chinese speaking role, being an action star, to like where she is now, it's like god damn, she deserves it. And I think that most people they don't even know who the fuck she is besides this movie. But definitely go back and watch her in like some old, Jackie Chan shit and some old kung fu flicks.
Am I tripping or what's
like
Crouching Tiger?
She is.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in Crouching Tiger, Hairy Dragon. I looked up to see when that movie came out. That movie came out in 2000, so that movie came out 23 goddamn years ago.
I watched her well before that. Yeah.
So she's in numerous. I mean, most people I think remember her from Crazy Rich Asians because I didn't see it.
Was
I
she in
guess
Avatar?
Avatar.
The
animated
second one I
series?
came out?
Oh, I don't know. And then we had Jamie Lee Curtis, Scream Queen herself, wins an Oscar for the same movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I'm pretty sure D-Smack was really upset, probably broke his TV. Like, fuck this bitch.
A lot of people weren't happy about her winning.
I mean,
Bad in this movie, or that's
What
why.
happened?
Well, one of the things that people brought up was like one thing that people brought up was that she was only in the movie, like her total screen time was like less than 15 minutes, and she was like,
I mean,
No,
character.
okay, so she's a supporting actress. So supporting actresses or supporting actors are not supposed to get a whole bunch of screen time. So I don't understand that whole argument. And also, if you look at who I was hoping would win is Angela Bassett. I don't think she had much more than 15 minutes of screen time in Wakanda
Yeah,
Forever. So
in One Forever, she's not in the movie like a whole lot.
yeah.
She does have some very meaty parts, but her total screen time is very low. In a like 2 hour movie, she's maybe not even half an hour, maybe not even 30 minutes in that film.
Yeah.
I did a quick Google search saying supporting actress requirements, and it says to be eligible for a supporting actor award, an actress must have had an on-screen role of at least 10 minutes, or had
Three
of
lines.
three lines or less of dialogue in the film.
Wait,
There is no limit to how many actresses can be nominated in an Academy Award in a single year. 10 minutes? 10 minutes to be a supporting actress? Like, you need to. How are you supporting somebody if it's
Well,
only
it's a
10 minutes?
supporting role.
But then again,
Mm.
10 minutes, it's like what? Like 1/12 of a movie time, I guess?
It depends on how long the movie
Depends
is.
on the movie.
Not every movie's 2 hours anymore. Really, some movies are 90 minutes.
Minutes, yeah.
Some are 88 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it just depends.
Well, like somebody posted up an SNL skit that was done like 7 years ago, where it just showed like a bunch of like Caucasians winning awards for like stupid fucking shit. Like one guy won the award for being the voice on the fucking phone, versus like the black actress who was on the phone like giving her heart and soul for this fucking, like she was calling the 911 for help and stuff like that, and the person's like, yeah, ma'am, can you calm down? That's basically all he fucking said. The guy won an award. But I don't know. Looking at it from this perspective of what counts as supporting actress, like I would think like, I don't know, like second bill on a fucking movie poster would be considered supporting actress or actor.
I think
But if it's only like 10 minutes of screen time, that's crazy.
it
Less than
can't
3
be.
lines.
It sounds like it can be if you're just not the lead, right?
Yeah, you have to lead. I mean, the actress that plays Michelle Yeoh's daughter, she's nominated.
she'll
She's
be a
nominated
lead.
for best supporting as well. So
Look, I
because
mean,
you see her less too.
I mean, here's the thing. Hollywood has favorites. For those who don't know, Jamie Lee Curtis comes from literal Hollywood royalty in terms of both her parents won Academy Awards way back in a million years ago in the 50s or 60s or whatever the fuck it was. So,
Yeah,
you
her
know,
mom is in the original Psycho.
yeah, she was the one in the
Are
shower.
you saying she's a nepo baby?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, she is.
exactly what I am fucking saying.
Verbatim.
It is what it is. But the one I wanted to give quick props to, and again, I didn't watch the awards, but I did see the results. I was glad to see from I think the visual standpoint, Avatar 2 won, because I was like, holy shit, that had me thinking I was fucking underwater and shit. Like, that one visually, if it didn't win, I was going to be like, well, what the fuck?
You kept hearing that fucking timing sound from the fucking Sonic games. Like,
Exactly.
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
And then shout out to Brendan Fraser winning his Best
Mm.
Actor award. Like most people think of him as a comedian, like a comic actor, but apparently
Heartthrob.
I haven't seen The Whale, which he won his role for,
Dude.
but I do like the director. The director Darren Aronofsky. I see almost everything he does.
There was
There's only,
backlash
like,
about
the
that
trailer.
too, about him winning
The
that
trailer
role.
for that.
Well, what was the
I
backlash?
was
Hold
gonna
on.
say,
Was he not big enough?
Because people
was
wanted
backlash.
somebody that was actually that overweight to play that role, and I'm just like,
Oh,
okay,
of course.
but also, I mean, if you want somebody really that big, like there's like logistics about getting somebody that big, on a TV. Like you have to basically build the movie around them. Like I don't know, I haven't watched the movie, but when somebody gets generally that big, they're not very mobile. So
Mm-hmm.
so and I totally get, people with disabilities, like when it comes to like people in like wheelchairs and stuff like that, like I can understand the argument there, right? But when it comes to like somebody that's like that large, I don't really, I don't know, I don't put that at the same level as that,
Yeah. I mean,
So
I know in the role he put on weight, but they also built him a fat suit too.
yeah, that's what it was. It was a fat suit, and I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like they built. Nobody said anything about like like Danny DeVito playing, even though he's already a big guy, which, this is the same thing. Danny DeVito wore a fat suit when he played Penguin in Batman like a long time ago. Like plenty of other actors have played fat suits or have done all these things to like less critical, issues. But also it's like, I don't know if like, maybe this is the issue, is that I don't know if people that are that large that are good actors. But maybe that's my ignorance. Maybe there is somebody out there that is that large
What's his
that
name?
can actually act.
Yeah, what's his name? The husband of John Goodman.
He's
Yeah,
not that
he's a
big.
big guy, man.
Yeah.
He's a big dude, but
he lost weight. He's
He
not
lost
that
weight,
big
yeah.
anymore. He's
Yeah.
just a tall guy. He's not as heavy as he used to be.
But
Same,
he also
even-
wasn't that big. I mean, he was big, but not that big.
yeah,
Yeah, he's huge in the movie. So the movie itself, it also won best makeup for the suit because
Oh, well, so what's the fucking complaint? I mean, goddamn.
Yeah,
It's like getting mad
won
about
best
Klingons.
makeup.
Like, there was an actual goddamn Klingon?
Yeah.
Motherfucker was a human with
what-
makeup.
One
So
crazy
it's-
thing is that like the trailer for this movie, like the trailer alone is fucking good. Like the trailer, you're like, holy shit! Like I literally thought like Brandon Fraser like put on fucking hella weight. Like another example would be like when Eddie Murphy did Professor Clump. Like, he did a really good job of that being a fat guy too. But no, but like this trailer for this movie was amazing. Like it had me wanting to go watch it. I just haven't watched it yet just because of COVID. I'm waiting for it to come out on HBO Max or Amazon Plus or whatever. But yeah, I mean the trailer looked amazing. So I'm not surprised that he won some kind of award.
People
And I only
always
seen the trailer.
I haven't seen this movie either, but people always gonna bitch about something. I mean, look, Brandon Fraser has been through some shit.
Yeah, that's something I want to bring up. Tell about his background, like why he was gone for a while.
Well, I think his heyday, when we all say, was the Mummy movies, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
In Tarzan and all of that shit, and
And
Encino, right?
when he was hanging around Pauly Shore, that was just why.
And I mean, I don't want to say alleged because I don't want to belittle it because it seems like it's all but proven at this point that he was basically abused, right, from some people in Hollywood. I'm paraphrasing here, but Old Ninja, what's the exact story with him? Maybe
I don't know his exact story. I just know he was gone for a while, and then he showed up in Doom Patrol. That's all I know.
Okay, well, y'all, let me get the exact because I don't want to miss.
I think one of the things was he had some injuries from being an action star, and then another one was like some sort of sexual something that happened. Which, I don't know all the details on that, but I know it was something that happened, and then nobody believed him, and he was ostracized for it.
Yeah, I think I watched an interview of him, and he talked about like sexual harassment or like sexual like assault, basically what the same thing that kind of happened with Terry Crews, but like he seriously got blacklisted behind it. But then also like you were saying, like he had a bunch of injuries, and are like, we don't care. Like him playing like Tarzan, like he had to be like the super fit buff guy.
I have it right here. I'm sorry. Brendan Fraser, he was blacklisted because he was molested by the former president of the Golden Globes. I remember that because I remember that's why he said he would never go on the Golden Globes because he was molested by the former president of the Golden Globes. Yeah, and the guy's name, let me see.
Predator?
I don't know the fucking guy's name. Okay, yeah, I don't have his name.
He also like talked about his injuries that he got on set and like the health, like for him to be fit, like he had to go on like strict ass fucking diets, be eating like fucking carrots or fucking celery to keep that fucking body shape, and it had a toll on his body. Like basically his body just kind of gave out on him.
Oh
but,
shit!
like, Hollywood was,
okay.
like,
I have
we
the
don't
guy's
fucking
name
care.
now. Sorry. He was also the president of the Hollywood Foreign Press. His name was Philip Burke, and the descriptions of like what happened to him were quite graphic and disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's another thing. So the folks hating on Brendan Fraser, fuck you. Like, let this guy have his fucking flowers. It sounds like, again, I'm gonna believe him. I'm gonna choose to fucking believe him on this shit because who makes up shit like this? If he went through all of that and came back and won an Oscar this year, good for him. That's a great fucking story of overcoming and persevering and shit, especially with all the pressure that he was under. You know what I mean? The guy was probably suffering for multiple decades after that foul shit that went down with him. You know what I mean? Like, how could we not be happy for him?
I don't know, but I've always liked Brendan Fraser, even though I don't watch Doom
Yeah.
Patrol. So I'm just like, fuck this show. But still,
But I loved him in
I
Blast from the
saw
Past.
I
Him and
saw
Christina Ricci.
more
Not Christina Ricci.
controversy about Michelle Yeoh
Chelsea
winning
Silverstone.
than I did about Brendan Fraser. There was just so much hate about her winning, where people saying, "Oh, Hollywood's diversity win." Uh, they were checking off boxes by giving her the Oscar. Um, why does everyone in Hollywood look like her now? What happened to America? Like, these are legit posts that people were posting on social media about how they just felt like, we're losing Hollywood. Hollywood's becoming too woke or too whatever,
Motherfucker,
too diverse, I guess.
motherfuckers don't even know what woke means anymore. They have no idea what woke means. Like the vast majority of them, they cannot even define what woke means.
Correct. And we heard this loud and ugly racist bullshit when I think it was Parasite, the Korean movie.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah. From old goddamn president.
yeah. From President, he's like, well, wow, this movie, where's Gone with the Wind?
Yeah. So, and here's what I'll say: if you have this misguided belief that nobody who lives outside of America or who was born outside of this country can ever write, direct, or produce a film that is exceptionally great, then that's like categorically racism. You're saying that there's a superiority with Americans. Usually, you're talking about white Americans. Let's be fucking honest. That is, hoarding over all other people of this planet. The U.S. is 4% of the planet.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me that nobody in that 96%
Yeah.
ever make a movie that's of high quality? Get the fuck out of here. Americans don't watch enough foreign movies. They don't travel enough.
Yeah.
And they just don't respect people from foreign fucking countries. You don't.
Like, even when they go through these foreign countries, Americans expect fucking certain things.
Now, I'm not saying you absolutely have to love every foreign film. No. But this belief that none of them can be any good, get the fuck out of here. I raved about what was it earlier in 2020?
No.
RRR.
Hold on, wait, pause. That movie won an Oscar.
Yeah, it won for like
won for
song or something. I'm
best
happy.
song. Was it best song or it wasn't? Was it best foreign film?
The double check, fact check me. I know I thought
Let's take it real quick.
wrong, but in any of it, I thought it was fucking fantastic, and I had never seen anything like that. It was very, very interesting from a South Asian kind of perspective of kind of through history and British colonial rule, and then doing it like basically like Batman and Superman superhero mythology wise. And I know that doesn't make any fucking sense, but that's what's in this movie. They throw tigers at people to kill them.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
RRR won. It won for best original song.
There you go. I mean, watch some fucking foreign shit and don't be fucking racist. Like, what the fuck? I don't get it. You know?
Watch Kingdom. No, they're super. Dude, so many people were saying like, "Oh, Everything Everywhere All at Once wasn't all that great. This didn't deserve all these awards.
Yeah.
Like, this is checking too many diversity boxes." Hollywood just gave their. Some of them were like throwing racist stuff, like their color box check. They're just all kinds of shit.
Yeah, it's this is the thing with like. So I know that Prodigy hasn't watched the whole movie yet. So I know also that like the beginning of the movie, it seems kind of boring.
Kind of slow,
but it gets way better, and then once it starts getting better, it just doesn't stop. It's like a snowball effect, and it's just like, what the fuck am I watching right now? And then it's literally everything. And you're like, why is there a butt plug? Like, what is going on? Why does he have powers with a butt plug? Like, what the fuck?
What the fuck is what's your fucking bagel?
It's fucking wild.
Shit gets crazy.
Why are there 2 rocks?
and here's the great thing though, you got all this buzz. You know what I mean? You got a whole bunch of awards, like 6 or 7 awards from the Oscars and whatnot. More people are going to be interested in seeing it. How is that a fucking bad thing in any universe? How is that a bad thing? You got more people interested in seeing something that isn't, out of Hollywood per se. It's right. It is a foreign movie. Am I wrong on that?
Yeah,
no,
well, so
Everything Everywhere.
I thought A24 was a foreign studio,
foreign
wasn't it?
production. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it takes place in the U.S. because they're migrants. They're,
Well,
immi-
just because
they're
something takes place in the U.S., like in the movie, doesn't mean that it's a
American
American show.
produced. It is not an American produced movie. Yeah, I get it, but
Yeah.
it does take place in America. So
Well, it does place, but it's not. Let me see where the fuck.
No,
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
pretty
no.
sure it's not a fucking.
A24 is an American company.
Oh, are they? Well, they're fucking fantastic. Shit.
Yeah, Wiki says
It's independent.
A24 is an
Okay.
American independent interplant. Yeah.
But I
yeah,
think
and
that the directors though are not.
probably not.
It
But
doesn't.
I mean,
It doesn't fucking matter. Either way, they're independent. I'm
Yeah.
just glad.
Yeah, they're their headquarters is in New York, Manhattan, of all places.
Well, I knew that everybody wanted, not everybody, but I know some people wanted the Maverick Top Gun movie to win, which
It was
I
fucking
thought
good though.
it was a really good movie. But
God.
I mean, look, it's the fucking Oscars. The Oscars do not. First of all, they don't like blockbusters, and they really don't like Marvel movies. So if you want a blockbuster fucking Marvel movie to win, shit ain't gonna fucking happen because the Oscars are fucking snobby and they're fine with being snobby. And I am just glad that an actual good movie that maybe not everybody watched, but a lot of people still did watch, won. That's a win for a lot of people because if you look at like the previous Oscar, best film winners, nobody fucking watched them shits. All right.
I watched 12 Years a Slave.
Okay, I watched that one too, but it wasn't a block. But nobody else watched that shit. I mean, that's not even a stretch.
Yeah. Your point is well taken, Kronos. They have, if you look at all the winners, the overwhelming majority could never be classified as blockbusters. Like overwhelming majority, maybe not all.
So I didn't know this, but Euphoria, the show with Zendaya on HBO Max or HBO in general, I don't know. It's an A24
show.
Yeah, they're
TV
a great
series,
studio.
Show.
But they're still indie.
That show
though.
is fucking amazing.
Never seen it.
I can't wait for this.
I heard some folks busted wide open in that show.
Oh, fucking good.
My oldest daughter watches it, so I'm like, I can't watch it.
You gotta watch it. It's.
I'm like, ew.
It'll make you look things differently. There's no like. I think there is some nudity, but yeah, there's one chick.
So, I'm looking at some of these Oscar films. Some of them are made a decent amount. Like Argo made 230 million.
Okay, but all right.
Yeah,
like nothing.
Are we gonna do this? Are we gonna do this? Are we gonna do this?
I'm just looking at some of these.
Did it make $1 billion?
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't make a billion.
Come on now.
Because Top Gun made $1 billion.
Yeah, I mean, Avatar made over $2 billion. Avatar 2. Like, what are we talking about when you talk about 200 million? Come on now. Let's be for real.
A24 did The Whale as well.
Oh, nice. Okay, see? Well, then,
Did they really? What the fuck?
Yeah.
then here's the thing. Obviously, they're an incredible studio, and I'm glad that they're getting more attention and love for their actors and stories. Like, come on now, this is good.
I wonder how many of their movies have gotten awards.
They've made some very well received movie. They did The Green Knight. They did. It's a lot. So
Rewind a little bit. Did we confirm that the person who Brendan Fraser accused, like, is he on trial, jail, or what?
Of course not, man. It's Hollywood. What are you talking about? Look how many people it took to like get fucking Brett Weinstein in prison. How many women did it take?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I was just reading through like the his recollection of what happened, and there was the taint was involved. So I'll leave it there. And he's a grown ass fucking man. And it's the same thing that happened. I mean, look at fucking Terry Crews. This is it seemed very similar to Terry Crews, and he is a very large man that this happened to. And since he made the accusation, like, look what happened to him.
Yeah.
What's he been in since then?
Old Spice commercials.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when a rich ninja wants you.
God damn it. Holy fuck. Hey, can I switch it up just one? I know we're wrapping up a little bit, but did everybody see the Chris Rock Netflix one?
I only watched the actual bit with obviously Will Smith. So I didn't watch the whole thing yet, but I watched I think it was the very end.
Okay.
With the Will Smith thing, and I was just like, yes.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
I would like to know more.
Okay, watch the whole thing, if you can, or if you're interested.
No, I
I
want to watch the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. We'll save it for maybe next week, but I think we should break that down a little bit more.
I will say that he is 100% on of like the comments that he said about Will Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel any sympathy for Will Smith. I think I said it before on the podcast. I feel like what he did because he did it to Chris Rock because Chris Rock is much smaller than he is,
Yeah,
and what he did for the sanctity of his wife is when you're on TV talking about how your wife was fucking your kid's friend is like you don't have a lot of wiggle room there, man. I mean, like either you're gonna stand up for your wife and like be mad about the person that she fucked, or you're not. Like, don't get mad about some dude that's smaller than you making fun of it, because when you put that out there, you and your wife put that out there. If you get mad about that, and that's not even what he's making fun of, just saying that you're pointing out that your wife is bald, and like it's really innocuous, but yeah, I was really disappointed in like what Will Smith did about that. And I'm glad that Chris Rock finally made some comments about it, and it was really funny, but also really insightful, and also just like really touching on what it's like to be like black in America in front of white people. Like go watch the whole
Richard
shit.
Pryor did that.
Say again.
I thought Richard Pryor did that back in the 80s.
Well, yeah, that was
no.
the '80s though, bro.
True.
Come on, man, that was a long time ago.
Well, one thing that's also crazy about like everything that happened to Slap was that like Will Smith dropped a biography book that was released, and I actually listened to it. I listened to the audiobook, and he did like the narration for it. But like he talked about how like growing up, like he was like that person, like he wanted to be like his dad was abusive to his mom, and he always wanted to try to like protect her, stuff like that. But he never got the courage, stuff like that. So he always had like this wannabe hero, like I guess persona he wanted to portray. But then he also always came off as a nice guy. Like even like when it came down to his rap, he always came off as a nice guy, and like that's just the thing that worked for him because he was just like that person who would do like the right thing and stuff like that. But then see him like go around and just slap the shit out of Chris Rock was like it almost didn't seem real. Like it just like is that our Will Smith or is that like some other guy? But like I don't know, it's just weird. Everything can just like kind of pick it up what Carlos said, like, you let some dude power drive your wife and you're just gonna go on the air and just, get a little sad Jordan face, but then act like everything was okay.
Yeah,
And then just kind of
And he's
continue living your life.
and he's still like trying to be like he's the victim in this. Like I don't know, man. He's just fucking he's just apologize. And
yeah,
I know he kind of did, but he needs to like actually sit down like you did with your fucking wife at a red table and talk to him and be like, hey man, I'm sorry for fucking slapping you. That's what you should do.
You get a black table.
Because he definitely didn't fucking, he definitely wasn't so close to you. I don't know how to fucking put this, but it's just like it was not as offensive as your wife fucking somebody else and you're still being married to them.
yeah, and everybody knowing it. But here's my bigger thing too, and all your points are valid.
And I'm not afraid of being slapped by Will Smith because I will fuck him up.
All your points are valid. What I was going to say is Chris Rock's job has been for the last 30, 40 fucking years to get on stage and tell fucking jokes. Everybody knows it. He's not new. Been famous for it. At the Oscars, celebrities get made fun of, or whatever. Yeah, it was the Oscars. Celebrities get made fun of all the fucking time. Ricky Gervais went off on people. Billy Crystal. Everybody, every fucking host, Ellen, every host of the fucking Oscars has made some off color and some innocuous jokes about the audience. It just keeps the people who viewing it at home kind of engaged in some ways, and it's usually pretty lighthearted. I've never understood this oversensitive reaction to this thing, and it's a year old, where people feel like Chris Rock deserved it because he made fun of Jada, and she's a black woman, and Jada's been a celebrity since the 90s, and she put her business out there, and he did not. I want to be very clear. If you rewind the tape, Chris Rock did not tell a joke that night about the entanglement or anything like that.
And that would have been the easy joke. That's
Exactly.
the easy joke.
Exactly. So I've
And like
always...
with the whole like the joke that he told was say that, oh, I can't wait for G.I. Jane 2 to come out starring Jada Pinkett Smith. But it's like you have to be like a kid of like, I don't know, like the 80s, 90s to even get that fucking reference.
Exactly. A better joke, I think I mentioned this, would have been to say, oh, you're going to be Dora Milaje in Black Panther 3 or something. Like, that would have been relevant.
That would make more sense.
Yeah, but at the same time, none of that warranted getting on stage and slapping somebody. And I really want you to hear me when I say this. Had that been Wanda Sykes telling this exact same fucking joke, if a woman or a man or anybody had gotten on stage,
not even just Wanda Sykes, but a man that was more physically imposing. That
would work. But I'm just trying to say, I don't think the lack of sympathy that Chris Rock sometimes experiences, because it's polarizing, would be the same case for a raunchier, sometimes female comedian, sometimes making fun of celebrities. I feel like he got the raw end of the stick and was fucking punched or slapped in front of millions of people. But we can go on and on. Let's bring it up next week, because I want you guys to see the whole stand-up, and I want to get your take on it.
Sure.
Let's wrap it on up, guys. Blue, what you got popping this week? God damn it!
Oh man, we're okay at that moment. Little Bash is turning 2. His birthday is this fucking Friday, dude. 2 fucking days. Holy shit, time has gone by fucking fast. So it's crazy because like the definition of a toddler is like a kid that's learning to walk. So he's been a toddler for a while, but yeah, man, it's just fucking crazy. Like every day I just see this kid do something new, learn new word, fucking putting like he can say like up to like 5 words in like a sentence and stuff like that, and like it's just fucking mind blowing. Like he's started to test our boundaries with certain things. Like it's funny, like he'll run like
it's the rest of your fucking. That's the next 16 years of your life.
Yeah, basically. But no, like it's funny because like he'll run away from us, and like, but he will like look behind to see like we're chasing after him. Like that's his game right now. But it's just crazy. We're gonna go to Monterey Bay Aquarium. My older niece, is like she's 23 now. But it's so crazy because when I first met her, she was 2. So this is like kind of a full circle thing. But she works for the Monterey Bay Aquarium, so she was able to hook us up with tickets for the 3 of us. So we're gonna go there, enjoy ourselves. Probably have like a nice little like luncheon or dinner or something there. But yeah, I'm super excited about that. Like, God, time went by fast, man. I think like a year, like 2 years ago, I remember like hitting you guys up, telling you like, dude, it's go time. Like this is fucking going down. Like I was fucking super excited and shit. But
damn,
yeah,
that
like
was like in the middle of not in the beginning, kind of the start of the pandemic.
I was like, I was in the middle of the pandemic, so like I was because for her ultrasound, I couldn't go to them because like only one person was like only session I went with her was when we found out the gender of the baby, and like I didn't. The first heartbeat was over the phone. Like the oh God, I'm getting all teary eyed to think about it. But like it was fucking wild. But like we were looking back on pictures of him when he was like born and stuff like that. It's like, dude, he doesn't even look the fucking same anymore. It's crazy. Like it made me. I think about the time when Riley started talking, and like when I went to your house and she was like talking like full words. I'm like, what the hell? Like when did that happen? Like that's literally how it is.
It goes quick.
But it was quick. It went by so quick. But other than little Sebi or Bash growing up, other than that, just doing some online training, trying to get certified as a data analyst. It's something I probably should have been doing like a long time ago because I've always like worked with Excel and like worked with SQL and stuff like that. So it just kind of makes sense. I'm working on that because yeah, I got let go from a company called Meta, where right now they're laid off tens of thousands of people. And it looks like a lot of them got let go today. And I just seen some of the people I work with kind of posting up saying like, "Hey, yeah, I worked there for 3 years, 2 years." But it's crazy because like what was it called? The 10 year. What is it called when you work for a company for a while? I
You're
guess
thinking
tenure.
tenure, but that's usually for like schools and stuff.
Yeah,
Professors.
Yeah, it's not.
yeah. What is it? It's like something about like a revolving door. Anyways, like yeah, like people don't stay at Meta too long. Like on their when you're in the company, and you can look up somebody's profile and it'll say how long they've been there, and it'll give you a percentage of how long they've been there versus everybody else.
Well,
And like
this
if
is
you've been
the
there for 5 years, if you've been there for like 5 years, you're probably like you've been there longer than 85% of the other people that work there, which is kind of sad.
well, that's how most I think
What's it called?
tech companies work, especially newer ones. I've worked at
Yeah.
my company for almost 13 years now, which this is the longest company I'm used to like jumping around. But if you work for like a older tech company, you can stick around for a very long time and make a lot of money. But you have to get in. That's the thing. So
Yeah. What is it called? There's a word for it. I can't think what it is. It's basically it's what like if they want to keep people working, so they make sure that like that's not it either. Anyways, yeah, there's like people that work at Meta, they don't work there for that long. Like I don't know, 5 years is like a long fucking time in their eyes. But yeah, yeah. Anyways, yeah. Other than that, yeah, just got to back on the job searching scene again, and just hopefully I can land something quick because I want to get the fucking VR2.
PSVR 2.
Got
That's
that
great.
bonus. Yeah, god damn it. God damn it,
Uh,
damn it.
Fuck Elon and fuck Zuck.
Yeah.
Chronos, what you got?
First, I will say congratulations to my daughter and to also Prodigy's daughter for getting achievement awards at their school. They go to the same school, which is kind of crazy. Prodigy's daughter got something for citizenship, and my daughter got an achievement for math,
Very
which
nice.
is fucking incredible. I didn't know that your daughter was getting it, and quick story is that me and Kay fucked up because we thought that the award ceremony was the next day, and it was not, and we fucking missed it. So the first award that she got, we were not there for, and I feel fucking bad. But the next one
But
we'll be there for.
it was funny because you posted a picture of your daughter with the award, and then Prodigy posted a picture of his daughter winning the award. I'm like, wait, that's the same fucking background.
Yeah, it's the same place. But what's interesting for our daughter is that she had to do that shit in Spanish, so she got a math achievement award in Spanish. So
And
yeah,
Espanol.
yeah, she's I don't know, she's an incredible person. Like I'm very proud of like where she's at, and it's funny 'cause I was talking to Steve Blue, the Steve that we both know, and he was like, "Well, want to try to get her into like a gifted program," and we've talked about it, but I'm like, we'll see after like first grade and see if that's like a thing, because I don't want to like overload her, because I don't want her to like dislike school, but
Yeah.
like giving her too much shit, because like right now she's already learning another language, and that's a lot on its own. So we'll see, but I'm still super proud of her. So I'm happy that she's doing very well in school. So other than that, my foot's it's coming along. I think I'm gonna try to push it a little bit more in the next couple weeks. I was approved for like physical therapy, but I haven't done it yet. But I just started doing like foot stretches, and it's been helping. It's been helping a lot. Things are still a little rough, but working through it. So I think next time we miss podcast. This is episode 400, by the way. Which is, if you're listening to this,
Oh,
you already
shit.
know that. This is episode
We should do a drunk cast.
4. Fuck yeah, we should do the drunk cast on episode 404. You guys want to do that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Fun.
because 404 page not found.
There you go.
There you go. That'd be
So
a great name for a drunk cast. But let's do a podcast for a drunk cast for episode 404. But yeah,
Sorry.
it's episode 400, and I think that next time if we happen to miss a podcast, I will just dig up from the 400 fucking episodes that we have and just repost that shit. I mean, everybody else does that shit, but for some reason we
Yeah.
don't. I need to start doing that. So
I feel like we should have a. I wonder if there's like a generator that already does it that just automatically randomly picks one and posts it.
I can,
Look,
I can do it easily. Go ahead, Prodigy.
yeah, we don't have many fillers, but throw a filler in there.
Yeah, that's what I just. I just thought about the other day. I was like, I listen to podcasts all the time, obviously, but it's just like they do that shit all the fucking time.
Sure do.
And
We got
it's
enough
like,
content.
why don't we do that? Because like people want content. It's like maybe you never heard episode number 1, which is probably really fucking bad.
Yeah,
compared to this
exactly.
podcast. Maybe you never heard episode 200. There's a lot of really good. Or maybe you never heard our the first drunk cast, or the drunk cast where I had a medical emergency and Kay had to come on the podcast on live stream and shut it down. That happened.
That was iconic. Yep.
Yeah. So
Or one with me underneath the desk. Just-
yes, you were literally sleeping on the fucking podcast.
Wait, I know you need to release the interview of Homegirl Black Panther.
No,
Who did the art, the design?
I just talked about it actually
We
in the
could-
chat. Yeah.
we just did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ruth
Ruth
Carter is
Carter,
her name.
who just
Who
got
just
another,
got her
another
second
goddamn
Oscar.
Oscar.
Yeah,
For-
good for her.
Yeah, she's a great
For
person.
working on Wakanda, she's very, very nice. Very
Yes,
nice.
She was,
Very
and I
nice
fucked it
lady.
up.
On
So wait,
on some of those
quick
drunk
look
casts,
to
you can hear
go ahead.
livers explode.
You can hear the what?
Oh yeah,
Sorry, on some of those drunk casts, you can hear livers explode.
Oh yeah, especially because when Devil Tank, when he decides, when we decided to like having like, hey, do a if you donate money for a drink,
buy a drink.
and yeah, that's what destroyed my
the
my
first
pancreas.
like
Actually,
10
my
minutes,
pancreas exploded because I picked
and I
the wrong
decided to
drink.
drink. Yeah, and I decided to drink a fucking like 10-year-old bottle of tequila that had
Habanero, right?
habanero peppers
Yeah.
fucking soaked in it. Yeah.
It was all
So that word I was looking for earlier is called retendants. For employees
Retention.
Retention, yeah. That's what I was trying to look for keeping employees at a
Alright.
company.
Oh, Ninja.
What you got?
Yes. So I'm probably gonna be hitting the theaters a bit. So Scream 6 is out. I heard it's actually really good from a friend who we go back and forth on movies. I genuinely trust his opinion. So probably gonna check that out. I do want to see 65 to support Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, where it's just basically Star Wars meets Jurassic Park. I do plan on seeing that. Shazam is
He's
out
a
this
Marine,
week.
by the way. Just saying.
He was a Marine. That's right. He
Is
actually
a
talked
Marine.
about-
Sorry, we are both
There you go.
Marines.
Yeah. Did you watch his what was it? He was on Howard Stern. How he talks about how he fucked up his back. We
I
had
mean,
the
most Marines do. I mean, my back, fucking knees, goddamn shoulder, ankle. Yeah.
yeah. He was dishonorably discharged because of his
Dis-
back.
No, you can't get
Or
dishonorably
honorably,
discharged.
I'm sorry, honorably discharged because of his back. There you
I
go.
was about to say you putting
He's
dirt on his name, man.
Medically discharged. Is that what you mean?
No, apparently he wasn't medically discharged. He was like, you have to watch his interview with Howard Stern. I don't think he was medically discharged. I think he was just honorably discharged.
You can't get
I don't
you can't get honorably discharged for an injury.
Maybe it wasn't an injury. I know he had an incident as well.
Okay,
So,
go ahead. Yeah.
but yeah, watch. It's on Howard Stern.
Okay.
He has this whole thing about why he did it. I watched it a while ago. I do want to support 65, like I said. Shazam is out this weekend. I did saw Creed 3. We didn't talk about it. Cronus and I, we still haven't talked about Star Trek Picard.
Yeah.
It's knocking it out of the park, like into literally almost the next city.
That nostalgia, though.
Now that
Yeah,
now that Last of Us is over, we're gonna have plenty of time on this show.
Yeah.
yeah. I guess.
I just looked up Adam Driver, like his wiki, and it has a picture of him in the Marines, and damn, he probably should have joined the Air Force. Those ears. I'm just
Those
saying.
ears.
I'm just saying. I'm sorry.
You get
Goddamn.
signal intel from the mirrors.
Yeah, man, he can hear your thoughts.
We haven't we haven't talked about Mandalorian season 3, which I've been watching new episodes
Oh,
of
God.
today. Yeah, and then I'm gonna be gaming. All this stuff came out and be playing more Destiny 2 Lightfall. I'll be playing some Modern Warfare. The new they call it resurgence or relaunch, whatever. That just dropped today. I'm gonna be playing some of that. I got to finish Hogwarts. Resident Evil 4. I think it's a dual plat or cross platform, whatever. I don't think it's exclusive to PlayStation. I'm pretty
Yeah, I
sure.
don't.
Yeah, so I'll probably pick up 4 because I have all the other ones. Might as well pick up. I mean, I have 4 on like the Wii and the GameCube, but I never
Yeah.
opened them.
Fucking
So,
GameCube. Wow. All right.
yeah. So I guess the Wii version, I guess, is slightly different than the GameCube version. I don't know how, but I own both of them. So, but yeah, probably doing a lot of bit of that, movies and gaming, pretty much. If
Uh,
it provided that I'm not drowning in all the water because it's been raining like fucking crazy up here in like uh the Bay Area. Stitch was on here. He talked about like part of the one of the busiest freeways in the Bay flooded to where they shut it down. Literally shut down the fucking freeway. And I couldn't
So
make it work.
where I live, my rental property, I have like a storage like spot, and it was so flooded that I put water containers in there, and they were floating around in there.
yeah,
My motorcycle's in there too. So yeah,
damn.
that's fun.
Yeah.
My BMW is in there.
I'm
God
that
damn.
fuck anybody. I don't care if you're a fucking scientist or whatever. Fuck anybody talking about a fucking California drought at this point. We've had fucking 11,000 atmospheric rivers. They've
They're still
literally,
coming.
yeah, they're
Mhm.
still coming. But more
Yeah.
importantly, they've released water from reservoirs
Oh yeah.
because
Well,
they've had overflow.
you know what's funny is that people get mad about that. I'm just like, okay, how are you get so if they don't release the water when you have literally no idea how much water is going to come, if if they don't release that and then all of a sudden it's raining fucking a gajillion gallons of water and then it floods a whole fucking town.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
of course you release it. People get fucking, oh, look at the government fucking wasting water. They're just tossing it in the ocean. It's like, but yeah, you have to. If you don't know how much water is coming, you have to, if you're near capacity,
Mhm.
you have to release that water somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But I'm done. I don't even care if in July it stays 120 degrees throughout the state
will.
for the entire fucking month of July and August. Don't
will.
you fucking dare talk to me about a goddamn drought for the rest of this year in California. Fuck you.
Yeah.
What
So
they need to do is start lowering these fucking water bills because like they were for a while they were like
No electricity
if you
bills.
waste water if you use too much water
yeah,
like
electricity.
dude, electricity
I don't know. I think me and
also a whole
Prodigy,
fucking different level.
we both have SDG, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I've had a couple of fucking pretty high fucking bills
Yeah.
recently,
Dude.
like $400-500. I'm just
So
like, I am using the exact same amount of fucking electricity that I've been using, and I'm not using a lot of fucking gas because the only thing I use of gas in here is for water. That's it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Dude,
you guys
our
need
bill last
me
month
and
was like $500, and I have a fucking Tesla, so I'm charging my car. But
That's why
I
you
didn't
got
charge it last month. No, I didn't charge it last month
oh
on my last bill because I was where I was working. I had free charges, so I never there was no reason for me to charge at home. And our shit
you
was
guys
500. The year before it was like 125.
Jesus. Yeah.
so parts of the you guys probably don't know this, the two of you in SoCal, but parts of like cities near the valley. So there's part of Monterey
Oh
flooded.
no, I pay attention.
Oh, so
Oh
you
yeah.
saw that the levees broke. They had
Yeah.
levees out there. I was like, what the fuck? What does Monterey have levees? But I get it. I saw where they were, and I'm like, oh, that explains it. But they
Yeah.
broke because there's so much rain. Like they had literally had to rescue people who were trapped in
Hold
their
on.
fucking
I'm gonna
cars.
I'm gonna fuck you up right now. My old boss was on the news because he lives in that
Oh,
area. And I was like, I heard his voice. It's like, oh shit! It's like that's my old boss. Like, yeah,
what
he
the
was
fuck?
affected by that shit.
He
I'm
was
sorry. He was in Tracy, but
Oh,
he was affected by the Tracy floods.
okay. I
And
didn't see.
yeah,
Okay, so you saw him interviewed on TV and shit.
yes.
That's all crazy. Yeah, I saw the
Whatever
guy that interviewed in Monterey. I saw that guy.
whatever happened to El Nino? Is that has been replaced with atmosphere river? Is that what we're
Oh, El
calling it now?
Nino's. I think El Nino's coming in another couple of years.
Well,
He's still coming.
that's what I was waiting for. Like for the longest time was like El Nino because this is what happens. Like if people don't know, like the when the Earth gets warmer, it heats up the water, right, in the oceans, and so that makes the oceans evaporate, and so eventually the water goes somewhere because this is a closed system on Earth, right? Shit
Mm-hmm.
stays on Earth, and so I was expecting for an El Nino year to like release all this rainfall, but this is not an El Nino year.
Nope.
And so this is why it's rather odd. Because I remember, like back in like the late '90s, is when I remember like the super. It was like literally it rained for like a fucking month straight, and I'm not exaggerating.
Yep.
A month
Remember that.
fucking straight, and it was fucking crazy because it was an El Nino year, and that basically got us to like good water levels for like a really long time. But like this is 2023. This is not an El Nino year. Even an El Nino year, and we're getting all this rainfall. So it's like really off, which I can't really complain, but also people are fucking dying from this shit. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It's all bad. It's all
Oh,
bad.
wow.
But ain't no drought. Drought is over. I'm declaring it right now. I will never fucking drought. Don't you
Well,
dare
fucking
have no drought.
like the
That's the name of
snow
the
and
podcast.
the
Drought is
snow
over.
level is like super fucking high.
It's all bad.
Hey, you know what they say though, right, Prodigy?
It never rains in Southern California.
No. If you're drowning in the pussy, shake your
Uh,
butt. Just
gotta swim
saying.
somewhere. Gotta swim somewhere.
A little
Go.
Tunchi.
Well, Mother Nature must be wet.
Damn it. Sorry. Old Ninja, do you have anything else?
Fuck, no, I forgot the name of the fucking podcast. Fuck that. What was it?
Oh, you said.
What did you say?
The drought is over.
The drought is
yeah,
over. There you go.
I was gonna do the RIPS, but I can wait till next week.
Yeah, do it. Do them
I'll do
next.
it next week.
I ain't got shit for this week other than I'm gonna try to check out Creed 3 and
Good.
I jumped back on Diablo 3 for some reason. Oh, because I'm preparing for Diablo 4.
Oh, did you pre-order it? Are you gonna play this weekend? Let's do it. If you say yes, I'll get it.
Don't
If
you
say
have to
no,
get
I'll
like?
it.
Hold on. You get the ultimate edition to get the early beta, right?
I don't fucking know, but if you say whatever, I'll just get it and I'll play this weekend. Let's do it.
I'm definitely going to get Diablo 4.
All right, I'm getting Diablo 4 too. I'm playing the fucking beta on Friday. Let's do it.
Hell yeah. All right, take us on out, old ninja.
All right. You just experienced Black and Black Times Infinity, super wet.
Interspecies.
What the fuck? Check us out anywhere and everywhere with Bees and PTI. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, everywhere you listen to podcasts. If you didn't know, if you're listening to this via audio only, we go live every Wednesday on YouTube, 8:30-ish Pacific Standard Time now. Live on YouTube. You can just check out Black and Black Times Infinity or Bees and BTI. Check out our official website, benheadproductions.com/Bees and BTI. And you can email us at beesandbti@gmail.com. We have a Discord to let you know. Email us, let us know that you want to join. We have some pretty interesting discussions on there. Some off kilter, exclusive kind of stuff on there. Sometimes there's exclusive content we drop on there. On Amazon, we have an app that lets you know when we go live. You can watch through the app. There you go.
Booty.
Twitch, Twitter,
Everywhere.
Bees and BTI.
All right.
What have you come for you?
Titties.